Coming up in this episode of the new Haverlock Hunters.
I wanted to just mention that I remember when this was called the First Resort, and when it first opened 60 years ago, if not more, and now it's the last one on the block. And I want to tell everyone this story. I think it's very interesting.
I think we can probably allow ourselves a beer each.
Beer each?
Yep, it is entertainment.
The top hat is tilted a little bit to the side.
He thinks that makes him unique. I let it slide.
My name is Horsemaster Youngster Newborn, and this is a very good and young friend of mine named Eggbert.
Oh, a frog friend.
We just met. I don't know this guy.
Excuse me, good sir, I must find my seat. You see, I have 2 cups of wine.
Oh, wait. What, I get to decide the mystery of who's the leader of the hunters?
Well, I know how to run a police service, which I suppose this is supposed to be what this is, and I like solving mysteries.
How about your other 2 legs?
It's simply talking about concepts. Listen to me.
None of us are immune from the ravages of time, my friend.
I take a look across the bar, and how many scams do I see running right now?
The barkeeper goes, "What was that? What was that?
You're
You're giving people free drinks
No,
in my bar?
I don't know
Is
what
that what you're doing?
Come on, Frollos, let's get out of here.
I will not forgive for this trespass, but you... How old are you, child?
And now, for our feature presentation. Three centuries ago. Dark days for the people of the old kingship. In those days, the roads were stalked by dogmen, the nights were ruled by vampire, and the woods belonged to the fey things on the hunt for lost children. Meanwhile, the kings of old Haverlock waged war with their neighbors, seeking vainglory, and abandoning their people to fear and suffering. Of course, that was all before the flintlock, before blood thaumaturgy, and before the hunters. The first hunters came from an unlikely handful of fishing villages. Their tactics were crude, but with each generation their craft was perfected. Within 100 years, hunters would drive the dogmen south, tame the vampire, and convince the fey things to leave our world. With their success, the fishing villages flourished, and had turned into a small city. But all was not well, for while the commoners rejoiced, High King Gors grew jealous. From his seat of power in Old Haverlock, Gors declared war on the city. He boasted that he would meet the hunters in the field and destroy them. But the hunters did not meet the High King in the field. Instead, they met him in his bedchamber, where they put a bullet in him. The line of Old Haverlock was dead. The city was free. And so, to fit its newfound place of prominence, the city took on a new name. New Haverlock. Since then, New Haverlock has ascended to the forefront of trade and heavy industry, but wealthy as it has become, New Haverlock is in peril, and it is the hunters alone who can save the city. Let's hope they don't fuck it up.
Hello everybody and welcome to New Haverlock, a tabletop role-playing mystery game set in a 1900s post-fantasy city where 5 unqualified misfits attempt to solve the mysteries that I mentioned before. I'm Peter Schmidt. I'm the DM and, the guy who's really good at setting up all the technical stuff, so that there are no hitches every time we go right into the game. Who's everybody else sitting around me?
Hi, everyone. I'm Lily. I'm going to be playing Valencia Annalise Montparnaud.
Hi, everyone. I'm Bryce, and I'll be playing Professor Archibald.
I'm Magnus, and I'm playing Alexander Barnabas Cummins, also call him Lieutenant Captain.
My name is Alec, and I will be playing Horsemaster, youngster, newborn.
I'm Kay, I play Eggbert.
And if you watched the last session, which was a session 0, a little bit of an unorthodox session, one where we had more of like a vignette of every character where we see what brings them all to the same place, that same place being the last resort, hotel, casino, and resort in the heart of Brandy Block, the center of the city. Right now, let's return to Brandy Block, specifically the Brandy Block Round, which is the cornerstone of New Haverlock. It's the center of government during the day, and during the night, it's the center of entertainment with the most prestigious theater and arena in the entire city. Very hard to get tickets, very hard to get in. But we're not on, that's the backside of the round. Right now, we're gonna go into the front side of the round. And as we move into a nearly deserted, marble-filled, beautiful, ornate room where a young frog boy stands in front of a secretary who looks haggard and tired and slouched over their desk. I can't give you the name. I can't tell you where he is. I just can't. It's way past hours.
Well, I already know the name, but I don't need the name. It's Weatherman. Winterman? What? One or the other. But
It's
I just need his
Frywinter.
address, and I don't understand.
I can't give you his address.
What?
I'll be
But
fired.
well, I'll be fired because I'm a delivery boy and I can't deliver.
I need to go home to my children.
Well, I need to go home to my caretakers, but you know, I guess we can't always get what we want if we can't get what we want.
Okay. Fine. You know what? Fine. I can't give you his address, but I guess there's nothing telling me I can't tell you where he is right now.
Yeah,
Mr.
that's what I
Frywinter.
need. Yeah. Where is he
Mr.
right now?
Frywinter
Yeah.
is attending a very prestigious, very important gala event at the Last Resort Hotel, Casino, and Resort on the other side of the Brandy Block Round.
Okay.
So if you think you're savvy enough to get into the Last Resort and find
Well,
Mr.
if a
Frywinter,
delivery
then
boy,
good
I
luck.
could do it. Okay, well, where is it?
It's on the other side of the Brandy Block Round.
Okay, how do I get there?
Well, you can't get there through this side because we try to, if you leave.
Why not?
We try to keep separate. That you need to know. We try to keep separate
need
the
direction.
government and the other
I need
aspects.
directions.
If you turn around and go out the door you
Okay.
came through several
Okay.
hours ago before we
Okay.
started this argument,
All right.
and you could turn either left or right,
Okay,
and then
so I
go
go
around.
out and I keep going straight, or I go back this way.
No, okay. If you turn left one time,
Okay, one time.
and
One
then
time
you
I turn
walk
left.
to the end of the building,
And then I go.
turn left again.
Another left?
Another left.
It's two lefts?
It's actually.
This is getting really complicated.
gonna
Can
be-
you draw a map for me?
Yes, I can draw a map for you. Okay, so I'm gonna have her draw a map for you really quickly. Can you do me a favor and write and roll a Genius ×2 roll to see how well you're able to read that map? I'm gonna see how good this map is. Give me 1 second before you roll it. Oh, what'd you roll?
No hits.
No hits. Okay, can you roll 2 more dice, please?
Like on top of this?
Just on top of that, yeah. Because it's a really well-drawn map. It's got
I
little
got 2
directions.
hits.
You got 2 hits. Okay, so when you first look at it, it's nothing, as you see. But then once you see like the little ornamentations and like the written directions and the cursive and the script, and you realize that this secretary is a real pretty lady, then it all makes sense to you.
Wow, this is a really nice map that you made. Thank you very much.
It's fine. Can you leave, please?
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Goodbye.
And then I leave.
And you leave.
And I follow the map.
You follow the map?
pretty little map.
Yeah. So what do you do? What do you do? You take a left or?
Well, I take a left, and then I hesitate, but then I remember it's another left. And I do it. I did it. I'm following the map.
Well, so as you leave Brandy Block,
It was really scary, but I did it.
I mean, you've been around Brandy Block a lot, right? But usually, what are you just like whimsically just wandering about, like not following directions, following your own heart, or what?
I don't. Yeah, I mean, I find the buildings when I find them.
So,
I'm really good at my job.
so as you leave the Brandy Block round from the main entrance, the serious entrance or exit, I should say, you see the Brandy Block Market closing for the day. The Brandy Block Market is one of the most extensive celebrated markets in the whole world. It sells to everybody from the extremely wealthy to the merely just rich. Everything from food and spices, ingredients for fancy restaurants, which I guess is also food and spices, knickknacks, the most ingenious hematurgical and chaos rhetoricianed artifacts that the city can create, and as well as imports from all over the world. But it's packing up now as night kind of takes hold. It's a little quiet. You see the grand bridge that goes over to the chantry over the dark red bay of the Bloodied Bay. And it's kind of calm. It's kind of peaceful. You see some gulls flying overhead. But when you take that first left, it's a little dark, but you see like sort of some lights like in the distance. And when you make that second left, and you're now on the other side of the round, well, oh boy, is it exciting over here.
Oh, wow.
You've got tents and pavilions and like all sorts of little like huts built up, all to sell little knickknacks and artifacts and toys, all for a night crew, both the high class and low class. You see children running around playing with last year's toy, which is of course stick and wheel. And you see peddlers trying to sell this week's toy, which is of course Jacks in a bag. And you see people selling fart bombs. You see people selling big poppers. You see little,
I love it when you sell me big
joysticks.
poppers.
You see terror sticks. You see people selling hot dogs. You see people selling little tiny like frozen ice creams, despite the fact that it's the spring.
What? How did that happen?
Well, you know, we could get into the chaos arts of it, but only Archie knows the details about how a time rune placed just right can actually create a refrigeration.
Boring. Let's move on.
And you also see, even in the quarters, there's so many people around. You see the famed mint and sausage men standing at the corners, holding up their mints and sausages as the gibberlings, who would otherwise be causing mischief, rummage forward and attempt to pilfer the sausages and the mints from the sausage men, who then throw them away and the gibberlings run off. You see the tattoos on these condemned men's heads that, you know, show that they're guilty of small crimes. You know, a tattoo that says debtor, a tattoo that says miscreant, a tattoo that says quite rude on their heads. You know, serving them with some of the better of the indentured servitude, you know, vocations that you can have in the city. There's also crowds and crowds of people out in front of the Last Resort, both scalping and trying to get tickets, all for the main event, which you see on a massive poster, or mastered posters everywhere, which is Professor Pisswood's last round.
Wow.
You see Professor Pisswood, the image of the most famous and wealthy frog in the entire world. Now, Professor Pisswood is not necessarily a frog that people in Merrowyne like that much, but the humane love him. I should say the Merrowyne and Salt Pans like that much, but the humane love Professor Pisswood. They love how he'll find some dogmen that are conjoined twins and have them go out and fight a couple of humane conjoined twins in like an arena, and like, you know, the winner gets cut right down the middle.
Wow.
You know, lots of little spectacles like that, and all these arena battles and things like that. But today is Professor Pisswood's most prestigious fight ever, and that is the famed Brookside boxer Maxwelt Bodyblow, loved throughout the city, going up against the most hated, the reviled, the Foreign Florenzio, with his weird nose and chin, and the grotesque image of Florenzio versus the beatific image of Maxwell. I mean, it would give a humane all sorts of feelings. I don't know if it gives you any feelings, though, or are you just thinking about the big poppers?
I don't know. Humanes kind of all look the same to me.
Okay, so it means nothing to you, any of this stuff. No, you've just got a mission, and that mission is, of course, to...
I have to deliver my package to Mr. Frywinterman.
All right. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. So what do? Do you body check your way through the throngs trying to get these scalp tickets?
Why would I get scalp tickets? I'm a delivery boy on a job. I just go through.
Right, so you're just going to get right in there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. So as you start walking through, a tough-looking man in a blue uniform with some mutton chops, hat pulled low over his head, holds his hand out and goes, "Oh, young boy, I can't let you through like that. This is just for paying customers, people with tickets."
I'm a delivery boy. I'm here to deliver a package.
Well, if you were a delivery boy, wouldn't you know that delivery hours end right at sundown? And it looks like sundown to me, lad. Go on with a better story.
Well, not this delivery service. This delivery service delivers whenever people need their packages.
Oh,
and I'm here to deliver a package to a Frywinterman.
Are you doing a little sales pitch right now?
Sure.
Well, I mean, it sounded like you were. You put a little arm akimbo. Give me charm times 2.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah, what is your charm times 2?
1?
Oh, so it's 1 times 2.
Yeah.
Love to see it.
I got 1 hit.
You got 1 hit. The person nods, looks at you a little bit, and goes, right, well, that might work in some parts of the city, but it's not going to work in the last resort. This is a classy establishment. We don't take deliveries all day.
Yeah, but this is a classy guy who needs his classy package. And, you know, that's just what it is. See? Look right here.
He looks over and he reads the package, and he looks up and he goes, this is for Frywinter.
Yeah, Frywinterman.
This is for the district head, Frywinter, and why are you delivering here, not at his house?
Well, the secretary lady wouldn't give me the address, and then we argued for a couple of hours, and then, you know,
he
like,
looks
then
around
he
at
gave me
like the crowd growing behind
to go
you.
here, because apparently he's here, but I'm just trying to find
Okay,
a package.
all right.
And it's really important to give the package.
All right,
I don't want to get fired.
You can go. All right, go in, and
Okay.
don't cause any mischief. Just go on in.
I'm
and
not
don't...
here to cause mischief. I'm here to deliver a package.
All right, go on in. Oi, mitten sausage boy, you don't go away from your post. Get in. Go inside. Go inside.
Okay, thank you.
And you wander inside into the last resort, hotel, casino resort, which is one of the nicest buildings you've ever been in before. I guess you were just in the Brandy Block round, but that's a receptionist hall. You've been in those all over the place, but this looks like a fun place. It's 4 stories, 2 different levels of suites at the top. To the left, you see the King's Inn, which is one of the most infamous bars in the city. It has all sorts of regalia and coats of arms and suits of armor from the brief occupation that the old king had of Haverlock during the Revolution. Then off to the right, you hear the jingles and chimes and laughs of the casino section where people are playing games like Whimsy and Treaties and Affection. And then straight ahead of you is a bunch of people behind desks. Now the thing about these hotels made with all of the most high-tech gizmos, gadgets, and thaumaturgical devices is it's laid in with a chaos rhetoric ruin for patterns, which means that it's very easy to find whatever it is you want to find in this place at any time. Your deepest, darkest heart wants. But it's also very hard to find the exit. So what is it that you want right now, Eggbert?
Right now, I want to deliver this package, but also this place is pretty neat. I wonder if it has mysteries
You wonder if it has some
to
mysteries?
be solved.
You wonder if it has some mysteries we solve. Okay. Well, that makes sense. Well, your mystery heart is pulling you over to the left into the King's Inn bar, even though you're underage. I'll be quiet. And it takes you all the way up to a young woman standing next to a young, hot man sitting at the bar. Could you describe yourself, Valencia?
Yes. So I am, as you can expect, looking ravishing. I have a floor-length black dress on. No headwear this evening. Typically, I sport that during the day, but tonight I shall let the roots breathe free. And I am filling a wine glass from a surreptitious flask under the bar there, and kind of bringing it back up, making sure no one has seen me. And yes, sitting at the bar with my my man slab.
Yeah, could you describe to me what Chadwick Youngman is wearing?
Well, I never let Chadwick leave the house. If he had it up to him, he would leave in all sorts of disheveled states. But
Flannels.
But a suitable outfit that accentuates his form. A waistcoat, some tails, a top hat. Looking as though he belongs in a place like this.
Yeah, the top hat is tilted a little bit to the side right now.
He thinks that makes him unique. I let it slide for
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, he's adjusting it a little bit in the mirror, trying to make it look a little. I'm being a little bit of a rebel, shifting it to the side, as he says, "Babe, this is a righteous bar. I think it's coming to me once again that maybe the Brandy Block is the place to be. Look, they got suits of armor over there. I always thought a suit of armor would be a killer name for my band. If you want to talk about my band." at all.
Chadwick, dear, I don't particularly want to talk about your band. However, if you would like a suit of armor, and if you would like to wear one, I certainly would not object.
You know, like, my bandmates are kind of ugly. I was thinking about putting, like, Deb and Dob in them.
Are you talking about the band again? Did I not just
No,
say I would rather
I was
not?
talking about, and right then, to save him, a frog, a little frog who is 7.5 feet tall, walks up.
Very little.
A huge shiny frog.
I'm a little guy, just wandering around. Hello? Is there a mystery to be solved here?
Well, this is quite obtuse, milady. This is quite a circumstance. Is this a bit?
Is this frog lad speaking to us?
Hey,
Oh.
are you speaking to us, frog lad?
Yes! I'm a
mystery?
delivery boy detective, and I'm here to solve a mystery. Do you have mysteries?
Well, that's a good question. Do we have any mysteries, Valencia? The mystery I have is what should I have to drink? Because I keep racking my noggin about it, and I just can't come up with a solution to that question.
Oh,
You
yes,
ever
well-
had brine?
Brine? No, I don't think I've had brine before.
Whoa, you're in for a real treat tonight.
Chadwick, darling, that the swill of these commoners is beneath you. Barkeep. I hear you have a thick whiskey here. Maybe get one of those.
Oh, we've got the finest thick dark whiskey in the land, served in a bowl, as if for an Ivani, which we find to be a little bit charming to serve to the humane.
No. He will take it in a glass, thank you.
It's very thick.
That's fine. He has very strong jaw for sucking down thick liquid, trust me.
Well, all right.
And you,
Drink it.
frog boy, how did you get in here? I did not
I'm
think
here.
they
I'm
let...
a delivery boy detective, and I'm here to deliver packages and solve mysteries.
You're delivering a package at a bar.
Yes.
Well, is it for
Bars
me?
get packages. No.
Okay, then, well,
For
perhaps...
Frywinterman.
Oh,
A Winterman.
that we know. That's... perhaps I shouldn't say. I don't know if a
Look,
man of his
I'll-
stature
Do
would
you
want
know
to...
where he is?
All
don't
I
know
know
where he is.
it's pretty righteous that you're like, doing it your own way, little froggy. I'm
Thank
doing it my
you.
own way too, like delivery
yeah?
packages this late at night. Man, I've always said they should do 24 hours at the bar so you can get drunk and then get some cool objects.
That's true. I do enjoy a bit of a additional substance at a bar sometimes that cannot be always procured.
Like, what are you
so-
carrying?
I don't know. It's a package.
Yeah,
I
can
don't- I
we
don't
open?
no,
Can we open your
No,
package?
that's illegal.
Well,
can't
now
do that.
you came here asking for a mystery, and now I've got the
Yeah,
mystery of what's in that damn package being delivered at a bar. So I'm not so sure.
Well, that's a different kind of it. That's a mystery that cannot be solved until it is in the right hands of the right person, and then we will know what is in the package.
So let's move a little bit further down the bar right now to an old man who is overhearing some commotion further down the bar and perhaps having opinions about it. Archie.
Yes, I seem to have an opinion about everything these days, but I wanted to just mention that I remember when this was called the first resort, and when it first opened 60 years ago, if not more, and now it's the last one on the block. And I want to tell everyone this story. I think it's very interesting and engaging. I've been around for a while, and I'm also a very interesting professor, so I'm trying to see who might want to strike up conversation. Things that might be of interest to the young folk. About, I'll see what kind of things I can work in about alchemy and about the way of matter and, things that interest me.
Can you describe some of your moves, like how you amble up to people and try to get in?
Well, I
there?
shamble very close to them, just trying to pick up on what they're saying and see if I can have an in, you see. But
Right, so
I found that in the past, usually parlor tricks will help me to gain the attention of young folk and mesmerize them to the thought of academia.
So you see a young lady and a spiffing young man sitting at a table
that young
nearby.
man's spiffing.
And they've both got some drinks. He's leaned over, a hand on her hand, and he's whispering something in her ear. You can't quite hear what it is.
Are they
as you get
looking at
closer.
me?
As you get closer.
Are they looking at me?
If you get close enough, I'm sure they will look at you.
Well, I keep inching closer, hoping that I might capture their attention.
So she, at one point, she's got her eyes closed, opens them, and the way her head is angled, it's right on your face. She goes, "Oh dear."
Oh, hello.
Barnaby, what are we doing with? Hello. There's a man here.
Yes, yes. You look like you're of college age. What are you doing out on this on this fine evening, not studying?
Well, I'll have you know, this is my, this is the person I'm courting. Yes, courting for quite a long time without becoming a fiancé.
Yes, this is very interesting. It's funny how, particles and beings of matter can come and circle one another and find themselves in orbit for quite a while, That's how, things like planets are made and universes are discovered.
Going around and around. I think I hear what you're saying.
Yes, forever
That's right,
and ever.
Barney. Where's the ring? We've been courting for 2 months, and I haven't heard anything more committed than that.
Oh, that is quite a long time.
You always bring everything back to the ring, Sarah. Everything back to the ring. You see an old man? Let's talk about the ring. You see a dog on the street? Let's talk about the ring.
I like how talkative this couple is.
So they turn to you and say, look, you've had a lot of experience, I'm sure. Are you married, sir?
No, I'm married only to the thought of expanding my knowledge base and of thought and mind and academia, I'm a man of... I'm a professor, you see.
So I was going to ask you for some advice about how 2 months is a bit early to get engaged, but
I don't know about all that, but do you want to see a cool trick?
Sure.
I wrap my walking stick, my cane against the bar, and I say, Barkeep!
Yes, what is it?
Yes, I'll have 3 waters, please. And I look at the couple, and I wink, and I say, just watch.
He dips down behind the bar and pulls out 3 waters, hands them over to you.
Thank you. And I look at the couple. I say, thank you, Barkeep. That will be all. And I do one of these. And I want to turn the water. I want to change the matter of the water, and I want to make it into 3 wines for me and my 2 new friends.
Do a little trick to ingratiate themselves to
Well,
you.
yes, I want to. Yes, this always works.
All right, so let's do it. What fundamental concept are you going to use? This is a little bit
It's
chaos.
the
artistry?
fundamental concept of matter. You see, the way that matter changes and how things can affect one another.
So then, can I get a magic ×2 roll, please?
Why, yes, you can.
I would say that turning water into wine. We'll call that a. Excuse me. We'll call that a force. Let's call it a force 3.
I only got 1 hit.
You only got 1 hit. Okay.
I'm warming up. You see, to this couple. It's
All
not.
right. You got 1 hit. Can I now get a genius plus pride roll against a target of 3 to see how much damage you take for?
Yes, you can.
So you go into the plausibility space in your mind where you imagine and conceive of a world in which wine and water are the same thing. And in that imagination space, you loop them together and you place that plausibility space over the real world to create that reality. And then how many dice rolls did you get on that second
I got
roll?
1.
Okay, so you get a bit of a headache after that, a little
I
pain
try
slice through your head.
and hold it back so that they don't see that I'm in pain.
And when you open your eyes, all 3 of the glasses have lost about 80% of the liquid in them. But that last tiny bit of liquid is indeed
A little
wine.
sip. Well, you wouldn't want to wet your whistle too much when you're getting acquainted with new folk, So
Bonnie,
I offer
he
them.
got rid of all the water without saying anything, and he turned it pink.
Check it out.
Oh.
Maybe
They
give
both-
it a little sip.
They both take it suspiciously. They sniff it a little bit. They look at it, and then they drink it. They go, oh, why, that is some of the cheapest wine I've ever tasted. But it is wine, to be sure.
Yes. No
How did you
cost
do
to
that?
this
Yes,
at
how did
all.
you do that?
Why, it's nothing but a simple change of matter, you see. This is the thing that I have dedicated my life to, my science, you see.
Well, if
It
I
is-
was in college, I would certainly want you to be my professor.
Oh, that is quite kind. You could be in college, and you could be a student of mine. I don't know if you've heard of the academy.
I make far too much money to concern myself with college. And Sarah might be married one day.
These are the concerns that most young people have when I interact with them. But they just need to open their eyes to the possibilities. You can turn anything from one thing into another. Think
Well,
about
I can't
how...
turn this relationship into a marriage, it seems, is what Sarah says.
Well, I think...
Maybe you could do that.
I think that's going to take a little bit more than magic or anything that I might be capable of, but I can see that you're a capable young man, someone who might be able to, turn this into a real a long-term kind of thing.
I thought you were gonna have like a zinger.
I don't have a zinger off the top of my head, no. But
So is this just what you do at night? You just wander around?
I go around, yes, I go around and I try and find, young minds that are thirsty for knowledge, thirsty for information that might help them along the way towards the good path of alchemy and the academy. However, I know that I am also here to see a fight and to interact with some other important, rub shoulders with the best of them. So I think, starting off small with a couple that is on the brink.
Yeah.
It'll warm me up for the bigger, exciting challenges ahead.
Right. You do have a bit of a headache now, though, as a result of that chaos rhetoric.
Sometimes everything has a price.
So let's move a little further down. Well, I don't know if we're at the bar. Horsemaster, Youngster Newborn, where are you at present?
I don't often come into the civilized areas far from where things are made of stones of cobble. And so I'm enjoying my walk through the neon and taking a lovely stroll through the terror lights. A riveting walk down the fright lights on my way to the last resort.
Oh, absolutely. As you walk through the terror lights, does it concern you at all that these lights exist to ward people off from neighborhoods they ought not be in, or is it none of your concern?
No. It's one of life's pleasures to walk with terror.
So as you walk...
My companion needs some reassurance as we walk, but she trusts me to bring her through to the brightness.
By your companion, you mean the other two set of legs?
We may or may not speak of this person, yes.
How do you reassure them as you go, or do you just walk slowly?
I whisper to her as we pass through the howls, and as images of dark creatures dance in her brain as the effect of the terror lights take hold of her small body, which may or may not be with me.
I would give you a morale hit point back for how much this satisfies you, but I think you're at full morale right now.
I think I've always got a rather high morale.
Yeah, I think so as well. Well, you make your way to the... Do you take any pit stops on the way to the last resort?
Hush now, sister. We are almost here at the last resort.
You can hear almost like the jolly, whimsical sounds of the fair off in the distance. You can see lights that are far more joyous, far more full of color off in the distance. Even maybe the children laughing and cheering as you walk. But it is still dark and horrible, and all the lights are just very white and washes everything out.
Yes, this miserable joy is no friend of mine.
You cross over across the threshold into the joy lights and the little fires and the torches of the festival around the last resort. You also see the big poppers, the fart bombs, the wheels on stick, the mint and sausage men throwing their sausages at the gibberlings who trip over themselves in effort to get them, eating the sausages, and then the mint putting them right to sleep.
Yes. As I walk, Sister reaches a small hand out from beneath my cloak in an attempt to snatch any of these joy items, and I slap her hand down because she should know this world is no place for a sister of mine.
You approach the entrance to the last resort swiftly. You see the massive poster of Maxwelt Bodyblow as well as the Foreign Florenzio in horrid grotesqueries.
Yes. My only hope is that this mutant is as hideous as he appears on the poster.
And the same stout copper in blues that stopped Eggbert before stops you as you try to walk in. What's your business here, lad? What's both your business? Looking you up and down.
Pardon me. Speak not of my physical ailments. I think you can tell from my horse leathers that I am a man of high stature in this society.
I can see that from the make of your coat and the hat and the wonderful nose what you've got on. What your business here in the last resort?
It's a part of me, I think.
What's your business in the last resort yet?
I'm here to see the fight and to meet with an acquaintance.
Who's the acquaintance then? You've got a ticket then?
A rather privileged and cultural man. Named something involving a season I don't quite recall, and maybe I won't tell you. But please, let me inside. My glued lips are becoming rather dry and parched.
Can I get a charm? Charm. I wish there was like a plus horror. I don't know what the other one would be. I guess charm times 2 to get in there.
My charm is rather high.
That's what it would have been back in the day.
I'm a charming man with 4, and so I'll roll an 8, and I get a rather meager 50% 4 hits from my.
So no, the 4 hits are plenty. As you lick your lips and get rather close. What did you eat for lunch?
Some glued victuals. I don't really take account what I eat. It's mostly thickened liquids and sawdust and
So you
little
flick
victuals and nibbles.
some unidentifiable white goo on the copper's face, and the copper just goes, "All right, you can go in and talk to whatever that seasonal man is that you said you wouldn't tell me about. That's fine. You do look like a man of class and stature."
Yes, thank you, Cretan.
My pleasure, sir. So you walk in and you have the same effect subtly come over you as what happened to Eggbert. The chaos painted effects of the patterns focus you on what you desire most in this place of pleasure. The King's Inn, the hotel, the casino. Where do you find yourself going, Mr. Newborn?
I'm drawn to the bar.
To the bar, to the King's Inn,
Yes.
with the corpses of the old soldiers stuffed in their armor, pinned to the walls, those who were murdered as they attempted to seize the city from its rightful capitalist owners, people like your grandfather and his glue factory.
Strange as it is, for I find typically when walking in these situations I see an old friend, but not tonight.
No, you do. Scanning the bar up and
do
down,
I?
you see off in the distance, perhaps one of your closest friends, dressed all in white, with only the scantest stains of old blood on them. His face pale as snow, his hair even paler. Only the slightest bit of blush on his lips and under his eyes. It is Dr. Baby Lovegood.
It's baby.
Love Dr. Baby Lovechild. I'm so
Lovechild,
sorry.
indeed. He does not love good.
Do you wish to sneak?
He loves child.
Are you going to sneak up on the man?
It's not good to sneak up on my acquaintances. We don't take kindly to surprises. Instead, I will clap him on the shoulder with a large, meaty hand.
As you do, you pass by what the obvious sign of an old drunk trying to get handouts from people with a duck cane leaning around, and you also see a lovely woman with a lad nearby and a frog boy off in the corner of this bar. I don't know if you think anything about it, but either way, you clap your hand on Dr. Baby Lovechild's back. He has a start. Turns for a second, you see his hand twitch down to his pocket. He pulls off just the handle of his scalpel, then sees it's you. Goes, "Ha ha, my good friend,
Now,
Horsemaster.
baby.
No, I almost
need
slit
to
your
be
throat and cut you in
jumpy,
half."
baby.
Well, you can never have too many enemies when you're as talented as I am with a knife.
Yes.
So what brings you here to the last resort? You're not one to be not lurking in the shadows. Here we are under bright joy lights. I feel the joy. Do you, my friend?
I do not. Believe it or not, my boxing days, as you know, are long behind me. I no longer work as a cut man or anything like that. But I'm here to observe a fight in some capacity and to meet up with some new friends, for I actually have a new sort of assignment, engagement.
A job? Is this a job, youngster?
I don't think I'll be doing too much working.
More lurking and finding means of making a profit, finding more children, getting the horses.
Skulking. I'm lost for rhymes. I wanted to say squirting, but only in the capacity of glue on mine enemies, I suspect.
I imagine you came loaded today. I've got my scalpels, you've got your glue.
Of course. And what are you doing?
Oh, I should say you're here to see the fight. Well, I, of course, am the head physician. It is Professor Pisswood's greatest last round. It normally, Professor Pisswood, it's novelty acts. It's fire eaters who then, if they don't do a good job, we set them on fire. Stuff like that. Nothing for a celebrity surgeon such as myself, the quickest, most deft hand, the most nefarious surgeon in all the city.
Surgeon, yes.
But this boxing match, Maxwelt Bodyblow coming out of retirement for one last match against the most hated man in the city. Well, I had to be there to provide medical services. I'm always here for that. So that's me. I don't expect to do much cutting, but we can always hope.
Mm-hmm. And I must say, as you can tell, my lips are holding up quite well, just as you suggested, glued them back, and all of my health problems orally have subsided.
Let me take a look, please. Dentistry's always been a hobby of mine since my father was a barber. I see. There is, not a single cavity among them. The teeth are beautiful. That grit is, of course, protective grit on the teeth. Keeping the sun in there, keeping them nice, no moisture on them. A dry mouth is a healthy mouth. That's what I always say.
It is true.
So I always drink this. He holds up his drink. This is ethanol alcohol, one of the most drying liquids possible. You just swish it into your mouth a little bit and then you spit it on the floor. It's wonderful.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. I know the sun exposure has been wonderful for my teeth, has bleached them quite bright white and made them extremely brittle, which is...
How are you holding up otherwise? I've got a new concoction on me. I'm hoping I can try it. Tonight. I've got a syringe in one pocket and a knife in the other.
And what is it?
Well, it's cocainum. It's a concoction I made from cockatrice eggs and a little bit of cocaine that I had laying about the house. So you mix one with the other, and it gives you a sense of fortitude and makes you quite talented. I love... Well, it's good if somebody's on the down low, if somebody's feeling low and depressed, needs a bit of energy. It's also good if you've got to do a bit of surgery, let me tell you. I find injecting myself to be just as useful as injecting the patients. I've got a spare vial here if you'd like a pick-me-up or anything like that.
I may take one with me. I always say the most important thing with glue is to make sure there's a little horse in it, and in this case, it sounds like your... vial has a little cock in it.
That's
so
absolutely
right. I will take one with me.
I learned the marketing from you. Yes, here you go. Hands the vial to you. It's extremely sharp and nothing stopping the plug.
Sister, hold this.
She takes it in her little hands. The plunger is extremely large. The needle is extremely large. There's very little safe space to hold. But she
Don't
does her
play.
best.
Don't play with it.
I suppose I should be getting on with everything.
Yes. Before you leave tonight, if there are any injuries in the ring, you'll be stitching up these injuries, or you'll be...
youngster, before I knew you, I was not somebody who knew about the genius of medical invention. What do you think I have in my pocket? Some silver thread? Why, no! Holds out some newborn youngster glue, some sister's glue, extra horse. As we know, there's no room for chemical adhesives from Mother's Glue Factory in the human body. Animal glue for animal bodies. That's how I see it. If there's a wound that's too large to heal on its own, fill it full of glue and squeeze for 30 minutes. Maybe perhaps put some heavy things on it so it stays shut. That's my new way.
I love to cut. You'd say just exactly that.
You know I love to cut. So there's always a reason to make things stick back together.
It's true.
You hear a little dinging in the background. I don't know if I have a ding. I think I have a ding. Do I have a ding? I do. It's something like a seabell, but... Oh, we've got the fights going, starting soon. Fights starting soon, says an horribly ugly man in the corner. And with that, Lovechild stands up, swigs the last of the alcohol, swallows this time, and then goes, well, I'll see you on the other side then, youngster. Good to see you, as always.
Wonderful. I'll see you one day.
And off in the furthest corner of the bar, in the back where it's a little darker, we have the lieutenant captain standing with Frywinter, the person who's organized this entire thing. Now, Frywinter is staggering a little bit, a little drunk. He's got this giant bowl of thick whiskey that half of it spilled down his front, but the other half... No! Cummins, you've got to try some of this thick whiskey. It's a party. You're not even on the job yet. You've got to try it. Or you, Mary. Well, Lieutenant Mary McIntyre, who, of course, was the person you requested, stands there, adjusts her glasses, and goes, I'm quite all right, sir. It's maybe not on the job, but I think it's a bit good to be professional in the best of circumstances. What would you say, Lieutenant Captain?
I think we can probably allow ourselves a beer each.
A beer each?
Yep, it is entertainment at the moment.
A beer each for entertainment. All right, Lieutenant Captain, I'll go get a beer for you and a beer for me.
Sounds good.
And please, another dark whiskey for me. They just said the fight's about to start, and I don't know if they serve drinks, and we're in the fight, so I need another drink. And Mary looks at you quickly.
One for the VIP as well, I suppose.
She nods and goes off to the bar. Now, Cummins, I've got to ask you, what do you make of all this? All this coming back to the city off that shithole farm of yours and back in civilization?
Well, I take a look across the bar, and how many scams do I see running right now?
I think you see a lot. You definitely see an old man with a cane walking up to people and ingratiating himself to conversations. You see a frog who is let in for some reason talking to a fine lady. You see the most horrifying person who's clearly smuggling somebody else under their coat. And you just saw the ugliest man you've ever seen yell about how a fight's about to start.
God.
Yelling about how a fight's about to
To be
start.
fair, he was yelling about farts too.
And farts.
So, I can see quite a bit of civilization out here already. It's not that sightly, is it?
Well, I think it's great. Have you tried the thick whiskey? I've got mostly backwash here, but I'd love for you to try some of it. It's really quite good.
A bit sweet for me, sir.
Well, suit yourself. And chugs the rest of it down, nearly falls out of his chair, rounds back up, drops the thing on the floor. It shatters completely. Oopsie. Licks his fingers and says, come in. So, tomorrow's the initiation. What are you going to say to the rest of the men? Do you have a plan? Do you have an idea of how you want to organize things? Do you know how you're going to... Do you have somebody ready for executions in mind?
So first, I'd have to meet our colleagues and see what they're all about.
Well, they'll meet us at the box. They'll meet us at the box with the fight.
So,
I'm sure they're here with us right now. We could call out to them. Yoo-hoo! Anybody here for Frywinter? For the fight? Starts laughing. Can we get a genius plus talent to see what you hear? You could meet them right now. Wouldn't that be fabulous? We'll meet them in the box. And I've got some other people I want you to meet as well, such as the Colonel, the good Colonel.
Hits.
What'd you get?
4 hits.
Oh, you hear it absolutely at the corner of the bar. Let's cut back over here. What are you talking to Valencia and Chadwick about at this point?
Oh, we're talking about Jax!
Yeah, I mean, I'm fully ignoring them, looking around to see if there are any, fine specimens around the bar that might enjoy making my acquaintance.
Give me a talent plus genius roll. Chadwick's looking at you and saying, look, I mean, call me old-fashioned, but I always thought hoop and a stick is like one of the most radical kinds of toys there is to have when you're a child.
Wow, you're a little behind on the times.
All right, I got 1 hit on that.
Okay, we'll come back to you. You're a little behind on the times. What do you
Yeah,
mean?
well, now it's all
I'm in
about
a band.
Jax.
What are you talking about?
I don't know what that means, but now it's about Jax.
Jax?
Do you want to play Jax?
It's right at this moment where you're holding out the bag, and Chadwick, you see a little bit of drool. The eye is growing big, that you hear Frywinter yell, is anybody here looking for a Frywinter? Laughing as he rolls back and forth on a stool at the other end of the bar.
Oh! I'm looking for a Frywinterman!
Chadwick, looks at you a little bit as you look about to go, and it's like, can I get me some of them Jacks?
Sure, but first, I must finish this mystery of the Frywinterman package!
God, that frog's so cool, Valencia.
I'm sorry. You've been talking to that frog this entire time?
So off in the distance, you see an old man who's been looking for people to, make eye contact with him. With your one perception roll, you made the eye contact of an old man at the end of the bar who sees you.
Young people.
And are you making your way over, Archie?
Oh, well, I heard there was a commotion. Someone screaming about to fry something. I couldn't quite make it out. These old ears,
But
you
then
see.
you saw this
But I
beautiful
saw-
young woman.
Well, yes, I saw more potential young people who could come to class.
So Valencia, whether you like it or not, this man is now
I'm
waddling
humbling
over to you,
Oh.
ready, making eye contact all the way.
Good evening, miss. Here for the fight? I said
I am-
here for the fight.
I am here for the fight. And please, sir, do not take offense, but I may have something for you.
Something for me?
yes.
What kind of something? Are you here to
see
sell
here.
me something?
Well, I am here to fix your problems. See, I see that you have a
Oh,
situation on your face.
you're quite mistaken. There are no problems that I have. My life is perfect.
Your, I'm sorry to say so, but your visage here is quite...
Stately?
Oh, I was going to say
Wizened?
quite off-putting. Quite,
This is but what knowledge does to a person, miss. You see, it brings about the wrinkles of age, the wrinkles of knowledge, simple things that happen to a brain as you gain more insight. Similar things happen to the face as you discover things, as things change and morph in front of you, things that you simply can't quite comprehend.
Babe, this totally makes sense to me. I'm chiseled and beautiful without a single wrinkle on me.
Yes,
and I don't
you
know
look-
shit. Like, I'll be honest.
Well, and how old are
just
you,
how I
young
like
man?
you, darling.
Are you a freshman, or you look maybe quite more like a junior or a senior?
I'll tell you, I'm fresh. That's for certain.
Yes,
was
I
just
only
hearing-
associate with fresh men.
I just learned about this thing called Jax, and I'm just positively
Well,
full
that
of
sounds
possibilities.
like a young person's game. Do you want to see an old person's game?
I'm learning about games left and right, so I'd love to. Valencia, what
wrap,
do you think?
I
We're just
wrap
being the
my
coolest
stick
people.
on the bar. I guess, barkeep!
Chadwick.
Barkeep. The barkeep walks over and goes, what?
I'd like 4 waters, please. And I
4?
wink at all of them.
Including the barkeep.
Yeah,
When you finish
yeah.
winking at the barkeep, he's got the most stern, annoyed expression ever. You gonna pay anything this time?
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm simply trying to stay hydrated and hydrate my friends. You see, we have a frog here. Hasn't had water in, what, has it been like 20 minutes about? They simply will turn into dust if they aren't hydrated.
Well, it looks like he's old as shit because he didn't realize the frog left. I guess you only got like one eye.
What are you
Chadwick.
talking about? I don't, did you, well, 3 waters then, unless you'd like to join us in a little hydration.
He came back already with 4 waters, and he goes,
Oh, good.
well, you just want me to throw out this?
No,
last
no, I'll simply double fist it.
one? So you've got the water, the goose, and
Yes,
another water.
here, watch this. It's kind of cool. You can do this. You take a cup and you put it on top of the goose, and then there it is.
Oh, it's like the goose is carrying on its head.
It's like it's on its head.
like
Yes,
some
it's-
kind of
yes.
like a picture of
And
some.
yes, like a picture. I don't know what kind of picture it is. One
No,
of
like that
of
gingerbread
well,
man.
well, check this out. And I do the trick again.
Okay, so again, furrowing your brow, considering a
Yes, I
possibility
have to do
space where
this
you're
every time.
holding actual wine instead of water, and forcing the 2 realms to come in with reality with some dissonance, painful dissonance. Can I get a magic times 2?
Why, yes.
Now remember, 1 time per session, you can always add pride to any roll.
I got 3 hits. There is no pride needed. It is simply skill.
And can I now get 3? Can I get a genius plus pride against a target of 3? This is to resist.
Yes, of course.
The
You
damage
got
of the
4
parents.
hits on that
Fair
one.
enough. So that time,
I've
you
done
got it off with such
pretty well.
confidence, you didn't feel any pain. You just like, and
It's
then
like
what?
nothing to me.
Suddenly, the glass in your hand, wine, full to the brim. It was 3/4 full. Now it's full to the brim. The barkeeper goes, "What was that? What was that? You're giving people free drinks
No,
in my bar?
I don't know
Is
what
that what you're doing?"
Come on, Frollos, let's get out of here.
Chadwick, look, mister, if I've got a guy here that's doing miracles and righteous things like that, you're not going to kick him out, are you? And the barkeep looks at this 6'5" hunk of like extreme masculine, stupid beauty. He goes, "Well, no, I guess I won't. There, I got you, little man. Now, how'd you do that cool trick? I feel like I'm totally
Oh.
stunned."
An alchemist never reveals his secrets, but I could teach you, have you come to the academy, maybe become a teaching assistant of sorts for me, someone who might share the wealth of knowledge with other young, inquiring minds, such as yourself.
So I'm becoming increasingly uncomfortable and disgusted by the presence of an aged man around me.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I would like to Perhaps make him feel as though he is 10 to 15 years older than he actually is.
So make him feel like wizened and old, like
Smarter.
physically more like degraded, and his physical form.
just as a little punishment. You want to make him older a little bit.
Yeah, I don't like his vibe, and I would like to.
Okay. Yeah. So using the hematurgical power of terror.
Yeah.
We will instill more age in this man who is in his mid-80s. Is that correct?
Yeah.
At least.
Okay, so let's.
So we're going for an even 100 on the body of a 100-year-old.
So to give this, is that no? This is like a perception. It's feel like you're not trying to actually age him, correct?
No, not yet.
Okay, so then I think that we'll go with a target of for 15 years. Let's go for the target of 3. Okay. So that just means that's the amount of force drain you're going to experience from this.
Okay.
Let's give me a magic ×2 to roll as you invoke some of your own worst memories about a fear of aging.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Let me get.
All right, I got 2 hits.
Right, 2 hits. Now, can I get a pride plus pride plus magic from you, my good man?
I got 4 hits.
You got 4 hits.
Yes.
So you attempt. What memory do you dredge up from the depths?
When we were, studying at the chantry, we did all sorts of experiments on the body, seeing how much it could withstand and at what point it would just give out and begin to disintegrate. And I focus in on my training and realizing the frailty of the human form.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, and like how horrible and weak and frail these humans are. So the older they get. So as you
Us.
Do I see
humane? Sorry. And as
this vision?
No, well, as you energize this, you feel like that invoking those memories takes a toll on your body. Can I get a charm plus pride roll against that target of 3 to see how much?
3 hits.
You got 3 hits.
Yeah.
You feel that tremor in you, but it doesn't take you. You're fine. You take no damage. Yeah. Meanwhile, you feel a wave of energy pass through you, like Archie, but it comes through you. Feel like a sense of like dread and shadow pass above you, but then it leaves in just a fart.
Oh, this reminds me of when all those TAs died mysteriously. It was quite funny.
So you have a little laugh, and your laugh, you have a little fart.
Yes, it escapes
and
me.
Valencia, you have been rebuffed accidentally by the old man. How does that feel?
Oh, just dreadful, darling.
Take 1 morale hit point damage just for the blow to yourself of not being able to terrify this old man who's maybe seen it all.
Or can't see anything at all anymore.
So Chadwick's sipping the wine and stealthily grabs the other wine from you, knowing like you can't drink the wine. Then Archie, what stories do you regale them with as we go back?
I tell them about my old TAs and how much fun we used to have, the parties that they would take me to, the drinking that I would do, the kinds of water to wine type tricks that would constantly be asked of me in order to impress the younglings.
And now, Eggbert, as you're walking through, you trip over. You're aware of the people around you, but you trip over a tiny pair of legs. Horsemaster, can I get a vigor ×2 roll?
Let us see.
And can I get a vigor ×2 roll from you, Eggbert?
I've gotten 5 hits.
I got 8 hits.
You got 5 hits? How much vigor do you have?
I do believe I have 4 vigor.
Oh my gosh, how many hits did you get?
8.
Oh my god, okay. So Eggbert, you are so excited to move. You're running with like such force. You bump into Horsemaster Newborn, and Newborn, you could stay on your feet, but it was your weaker half that got hit, and his sister goes tumbling down. You go tumbling down as well, crashing to the ground with all of your bulk as Eggbert brisks off to talk to, who is it? Frywinter, the man who brought you into this horrible situation. This slimy frogman knocked you on the ground, and do you even look back as you do so?
I'm sorry!
Frogchild.
I keep going, though.
Eggbert, you find yourself standing in front of Frywinter, who's rolling backwards and forwards.
Oh, boy.
And laughing joyously, saying, "The big man fell down over there, Cummins. Did you see? Perhaps we should send out some police to ask what happened." You're a police officer, I believe.
Yep. What are you doing here?
Hi, hello, my name is Eggbert. I'm a delivery boy
frog
detective,
person.
and I'm here to deliver a package to a Frywinterman.
A frog person at this time of night delivering a package
Yes,
at a
we
bar?
deliver
Come in,
through
you'll have to check this
sun
out.
and-
I don't
sun
know about
and
this at all.
moon and
Go on.
rain or storm. Yes.
Show us the package, man.
Hello, here's the package.
Oh, so you hand the package to Lieutenant Cummins?
No, I give it to Frywinter.
Frywinter goes, I'm not touching that package. It could be full of frog cooties for all I know. some sort of evil device. Cummins, you open it. If somebody's going to get cooties, it's going to be a police officer.
Okay, well, I have to deliver it to the person that it is addressed to.
Well, the person who's addressed it did say that he could hand it over.
Yeah, you can hand it over to this man over here.
Okay, well, all right.
Thank you. I take a look at the package. What does it look like?
So the package is stamped with all sorts of regulatory bodies from all over the city, from Lockgate Prison to the Salt Pans Dock Union being the most recent one, and even the Brookside shipyards. It's been stamped all over the place, giving you the impression that it's extremely legitimate and extremely important. You have not, being somebody that worked in Brookside, you have almost never seen a package stamped with this many
So
decals.
does it look actually legit stamped, or does it look legit stamped so that it goes through to places?
I would say that it looks suspiciously legitimately stamped, whatever that means to you.
Mr. Winters, have you got substances coming your way?
Substances like well, I've got a beer, a short beer coming from me, I believe, from Miss McIntyre. Oh, and here she comes. Miss McIntyre walks up and, oh yeah, lads, I've got the 3 beers. And Frywinter takes it, goes, what's that? And who are you? Hello, I didn't know
Hi,
you had
hello.
frogs in here.
My name's Eggbert. I'm a delivery boy detective, and I'm here to deliver a package to a Frywinterman.
Well, that's fun. So what do we got here, Lieutenant Captain?
Look at the package. It's one of the nicest stamped ones I've seen.
Oh yeah, it looks extremely legitimate, I would say.
Yes. Mr. Winters, I think it's extremely legitimate, and I think you might not want to open it in the presence of other people.
Do you hand it over?
I hand it over.
He hands it over looking confused and goes, oh, it's my cocainum, he says. And he rips it open in front and he just like takes a finger and goes, nom, 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 nom. Like it's quite good on the gums. It makes you feel stiff like a cock, but it makes you feel quite loose like a cocaine. He says, would you like some, Lieutenant Captain? I'll okay it. Of course, whatever I say is legal and whatever I do is legal because I say so.
We know it's legal, sir. But no thanks, I don't indulge.
Miss McIntyre sort of like nods at what you say and looks away.
Yeah,
well, what about you, frog
by
boy?
the way, we do know it's legal. It is legal.
Yes. It's just a little, it's a little weird.
Well, it's not. It's a little
Polite society?
Yeah.
Pardon me to interrupt your discussion of cocainum, you charmless chuds.
Cocaine.
But,
Do you think I'm a Philistine?
Oh, Christ. You, Frywinterman,
Yes.
are you responsible for this large child here?
Well, they're responsible for this big bag, and this big bag is going to take me all the way to the
Well,
moon.
listen. I came here out of respect for you.
Yes?
But the two of you have both bruised mine and my little sister's egos.
I thought we weren't supposed to talk about her. About your other 2 legs.
It's simply talking about concepts. Listen to me. Listen to me. You, I will not forgive for this trespass, but you. How old are you, child?
Hi, my name is Eggbert. I'm a delivery boy detective, and I'm 12 years old.
Why, Eggbert, you're just a child. For you, I shall be the painful and torturous horsemaster.
Love
But
at first
you-
sight, I think, Lieutenant Cummins.
You,
think.
little Eggbert, you can call me the happiness man, for I will be your
Could you
friend.
please not hassle
Oh.
the kid?
And who
I
are
like
you,
having friends, but
farman?
this makes me uncomfortable, and I can't articulate why.
I think
Friendships are not comfortable.
love
I
at
guess
first
that's
sight.
true.
Archie sees something Archie likes.
I simply must tell you about this couple I spoke to earlier tonight. They were circling each other like planets.
Does anyone know this ancient and hideous man?
Excuse me, good sir, I must find my seat. You see, I have 2 cups of wine.
Yeah, there's a Frywinter currently is sitting on 2 stools at present.
Frywinter's on 2 stools.
Yeah.
This man's on 2 stools. Are there stools enough for all of us?
If you look around,
I do look around. I
What-
want
what
to
you
sit
can
right
see
at
is
the edge. I want to see the fight, and I want to drink my 2 wines, and I want to sit comfortably, but I can't seem to get around with my cane and my hands full with 4 legs in the way.
yeah. Speaking of the fight, right here
These
we hear
are
another.
seats, yes.
Oh, it's the fight! It's gonna start soon. We've got to get to the fight.
Miss,
And
would
that's
you
when
like
Frywinter
to
goes,
sit
"Oh,
next to me?"
We need to get to the fight. I forgot about the fight. It starts, stands up and goes, "You've got all your tickets, correct? You've got your tickets going to booth 5, box 5."
Sorry,
Box
Mr.
five.
Winters.
Yes.
Do you know these people?
Well, of course I know Horsemaster Newborn. Horsemaster Newborn is the patriarch and baron of Sisters Glue Factory, one of the most, not prestigious, but long-lasting glue barons in the city, and is, of course, a lieutenant captain in the new Haverlock Hunters, you see.
Right. And I presume that,
Well, who are you? What's your
Oh,
name?
good day. My name is Professor Archibald. I'm from the Academy.
From the The Dean's man! What
Yes,
is it
the
that
one and the
says-
same.
This is Lieutenant Captain Professor Archibald from the... He's a Lieutenant Captain Professor. Perhaps he
Are you telling
outranks
me
you,
He's
Cummins.
hired as well.
Yeah, well, of course, this is the brains of the operation. You, of course, are the money. And
You
of
must
course,
have
are
his position incorrect if I heard you.
He's the he's the Lieutenant
There's
Captain.
nothing
And-
to be
and my
mistaken
position
about.
was-
You're the Lieutenant Captain.
And
We've got
I'm-
an issue immediately. This ancient man need not be hired.
Who speaks of ancient men? But what are you, a tree? Some kind of donkey with 4 legs?
Pardon me. Comment not on my appearance. Don't you know that's
Oh,
rude?
it's the pot calling the
Shriveled
kettle
old man.
black over here with who is old and who's shriveled and
Just because
disgusting.
I don't know how old I am does not mean
You think
don't-
I know?
Oh.
I lost track years ago.
So Valencia,
Lost a
Chadwick
lot.
has dragged you over, saying like, look, Frog Boy, I gotta figure out what the deal is with these jacks. You gave me this bag, and it's full of little spikes, but I can't make head nor tails of them. I tried to eat the ball, tasted terrible. I can't figure out how to play the fucking game.
Ball, now we can't really play.
As we walk up, I'm still holding a grudge at Archibald for inflicting his elderliness on me. So I
Just
request that
all of you.
Chadwick sort of swat his wine glass out of his hand.
Did you agree? Okay.
As he's dragging me up, I say, "You better
So Chadwick, of course, is obsessed, hyper obsessed with this
So
simple.
you are allowed to
simple
play
thing.
jacks.
But
if
Chadwick goes right. Turns and goes, Archibald. Sorry about this, and then whacks both of the glasses out of your hand.
Not my drink, my beautiful
And
wines.
then grabs the cane out of you with such force
No!
that you can I get a talent plus vigor to not tumble to your bottom?
It's going to be very hard for me. I am old and frail. Talent and vigor, you say? Oh dear.
So do I just see some random dude assaulting a harmless old man?
I
Yes,
got one
you do.
hit.
You one hit.
Yes.
You managed to fall lightly on your bottom, but
Oh, my
you're,
butt.
you're able to spread your
Oh,
hands
good
out
lord.
so you fall slowly.
And I at this
Sir,
point,
what are you doing, sir?
Oh.
This is a public place, and you're assaulting an harmless old
A
man.
very old man.
I'm sorry. It was my babe told me
clearly
to-
an accident. Can you not see that this
Yeah.
man is quite stupid?
I could have
Chadwick,
broken a
please,
bone.
You must be more careful.
Oh, I'm
There's not
sorry,
enough
babe.
calcium at the academy. My bones are very brittle. Please do not knock into me again.
I saw the whole thing. 'Twas but a breeze that knocked the old
No,
man
no,
down.
they're all lying. I felt it. The young buck who I trusted, who I thought was an inquiring mind, did nothing but brutish jock behavior and smack me on the head as if I were a freshman myself. It's not fair.
Look, I thought your tricks were righteous, but I just have to do what I'm ordered to do by my superior.
Oh, he's very religious. He's talking about his visions from God again.
And the keg, and that's when Frywinter turns around and goes, from the posters, Valencia Annalise. Well, if this isn't the most beautiful thing I ever seen, it is 4 of the 5 new Haverlock Hunters, and we are about to see the 5th Maxwelt Bodyblow in the actual fight. Oh my gosh, the 4 of you finally together, and I can already see you're getting along like the proverbial peas in a pod. Look at you all. We've got the
Mr. Winters, are you saying that these amateurs are the fellow hunters that you hired?
Well, yes, of course. We have Lieutenant Captain Horsemaster Newborn, Lieutenant Captain Professor Archie, Lieutenant Captain Valencia Annalise. I guess, and as you have Lieutenant McIntyre standing at the back, takes a nod and just looks at the ground. It doesn't look at any of you. We also, I guess, have what's his name? I heard in the...
Oh, yes, Chadwick Youngman. He is my handsome companion.
Lieutenant Chadwick Youngman as well. And then this frog person that brought me all this cocaine. They aren't in the Hunters by any stretch of the imagination.
I just delivered it.
But you brought it to me. And so because of that, you will have a box seat as well.
Oh!
Come, frogman, let's go see
I love fighting.
And he gets up and he rushes off as fast as he can, bumping into a wall and knocking over Sarah and Barney as they were arguing about whether or not they're going to get married. And that just leaves all of you standing here. Mary McIntyre hands you the beer.
Thank you.
And then says, shall we go to the box, sir?
Yes, we'll take the lead. So we go to the box and leave these varied company.
Yeah, well, so now it's just the four of you standing at the bar.
Yeah.
I love fighting.
Chadwick whisks me. I sort of sit on his forearm as he carries me off, and I say, Chadwick, to the box.
Okay, and Chadwick and Valencia are off. Archie, you're still on the floor.
Well, I picked myself up. I do look to the...
Oh, okay,
thank
sorry,
you,
you're on the...
young
Sorry.
man.
I mean, I just saw an old man.
No
being
respect,
viciously
no
assaulted in front
respect for the elderly anymore. No respect for those in academia.
Pardon me, reeking underling. Your lieutenant captain is off to his private box. Eggbert, if you would like to join me, I believe I have a private seating arrangement for which you are invited, of course. Shall we go this way?
I do love fighting.
Wondrous.
So you wander off hand in hand, and you might even say that for this brief journey, Horsemaster has 6 legs.
I don't
6
trust
legs
that
and
horse
3
guy.
hearts beating in sync.
Archie, what about you?
Well, I'm a bit worried for the little frog. You see, that man can't be trusted. He's got too many legs.
And you know, the young are maybe the best recruited.
Yes, they are the most inquiring minds, the smoothest of brains, the easiest to manipulate into doing things that are exciting and mind-boggling and turning, I think about how thick whiskey was discovered for the first time. I remember doing that in 68 with Thomas. He became the whiskey afterwards, and it was a big smash.
Thomas Whiskey.
Thomas Whiskey, yes.
Everybody
It was
loves
the
Thomas
thickest.
whiskey.
It was the thickest of the year.
Yeah. There are raw resources that get turned into teaching assistants and then ex-teaching assistants.
Well, then the teaching assistants become part of, the legacy lives on for the great things that they contributed to science and matter and the types of alchemy that we strive for, the things that are greatness. The brightest stars burn the fastest.
So as you all make your way to the box, let's take our little intermission so that people can get another drink or do whatever they have to do. We'll be back in a little bit. We're going to play some intermission lore videos in the meantime, and we'll be back for the rest of the session. Thank you, everybody. We'll be back.
Welcome to the new Haverlock Hunters intermission. The live stream will resume shortly. In the meantime, please enjoy this treatise on the Merrowyne by Elias Sabison. The frog people of Shelter Pond have been our amiable partners in trade since before the Imperial Kingship War, but their presence was not commonplace on the continent until 100 years or so ago. The continental Merrowyne population live in sheltered communes that dot the port cities of southern Augustrad, such as Lachton, Three Fingers, and Moat Rest. But the largest commune is undoubtedly in the Salt Pans district of New Haverlock, where they outnumber the district's humane population by at least 3-1. This imbalance has led to some rather dicey politics inside the Salt Pans, where the Merrowyne, who are known to vote often and in unison, have managed to repeatedly elect Grokrak Brown to represent the district. Immediately following his first election, Humanes brought suit against Brown for ignoring issues brought by the non-Merrowyne community and for being much less wealthy, and therefore less fit to serve, than many other humane traders who make their home in the Pans. Such suits have all failed, having been voted down by the same coalition of Merrowyne voters that put Brown into power in the first place. The grumbling persists, but the Humanes have all but accepted their situation. I can say with some certainty that anyone who has spent time with the frog people has noticed the peculiar bond they all share. Inside their densely packed communes, I have seen Merrowyne regard complete strangers with a fondness that would rival close family in any of the other known sapient species. When questioned about this strange ritual familiarity, the Merrowyne frequently stare at me, blinking one eye at a time, as if I were the absurd one for asking such a question. As such, neither I, nor my colleagues at the Academy, have ever made the acquaintance of a Merrowyne that does not live in close proximity to their kin, barring, of course, those that live at sea, or have been sentenced to a most severe punishment in their society, banishment. The source of the Merrowyne's unique bond is up for debate, with some scholars insisting that the Merrowyne are simply too stupid, or too blind, to tell the difference between siblings and strangers. I have a different hypothesis. I believe that the Merrowyne's strange familial structure is to blame. More about that later. Describing the shape of Merrowyne life is difficult. While the frog people might adopt certain fashions and participate in local government, there is a resistance to what any reasonable person would call genuine assimilation. But if I struggle to capture the whole of the Merrowyne, I can at least recall the common details of the communes that I've been to. The air is heavy and damp, yet so salty as to chap the lips and sting the eyes. Every surface inside or out is dark with wet and slimy to the touch. From what I understand, these brackish conditions keep the Merrowyne juicy and plump. The docks are either in view or just around the corner. Every home is an overly constructed tenement, with humorous additions sticking out in every direction. The Merrowyne sleep one to a room, but this includes the bathrooms, halls, and kitchens. The beds are most often troughs or tubs and the food is always protein. Merrowyne are fond of fish, mice, and eggs, especially if they're pickled. The family structure I alluded to previously is also rather peculiar. The role of each Merrowyne is defined by their age. When they are first born, the diminutive tads make humane infants look able-bodied and ferocious. But after 1 year the tads are able to move about on land, and after 2 years they look every bit a frog person in miniature. These froglings are considered fully grown and schooled by 7 years, at which point they will go on to receive specialized tutoring, or else be put to work on the docks. The choice depends on what the elders believe is best for each frogling and the commune as a whole. At 13 the Merrowyne are assigned brood mates. Breeding is unceremonious, with neither parent ever meeting their offspring. The fertilized eggs, like the tads and froglings, are looked over by the commune's elders. If the breeding process was fruitful, the same Merrowyne may be required to mate again every year until they turn 20. At 25 a Merrowyne is considered an elder. Their duties go from traditional labor to rearing and guiding the younger generations. This rigid system is what I believe gives Merrowyne their closeness. Each frog is raised by the community, and so they see the community as their family, full stop. A strange custom, to be sure, and one that severely inhibits the growth of individuality, but it is certainly not without merit. In my weaker moments, I sometimes find myself envying the efficiency and discipline of frog society. But then I remember the smell. The end. Thank you for your patience and attention. The live stream or another informational intermission video will begin shortly.
Should probably start the spooky music before I come out. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for that intermission and that helpful little video about the Merrowyne and their lore. I hope you learned a little bit about how weird and off-putting they are.
Thank you.
And now that we are coming back, everybody going to Box 5 of the Grand Theater of the Last Resort Hotel, Casino, and Resort. Now, the Grand Theater is the most prestigious theater in the city, and New Haverlock prides itself on many things, being the head of the most innovative in terms of blood thaumaturgy and engineering across the board, but also acting is one of the primary exports, forms of experience that New Haverlock is obsessed with. And so the theater being part of the round is extremely important. And if you think about it, Blood thaumaturgy is all based on emotionality, and acting is based on emotionality. And is there anything more efficient than an overly emotional hyper-capitalist? They get things done. And that's where we find ourselves, in the grandest arena of acting, in the most shadowy box in the back. All 5 of you stepping in. Frywinter first, trundling his way in, slower now than he was before after taking several blows, running into different pieces of wall and knocking over some statuary in a funny way, being out of breath and just being quite slow.
But still quite flushed from all the uppers he's just consumed.
Absolutely. Otherwise, he couldn't do it at all. Wait, did I just turn on farm sounds? No, I didn't. Okay, good. Always the dreaded farm sounds.
The sweet sounds of home. Back when things were normal and easy.
Frywinter sits down in his chair, slowly lowering himself in. As the rest of you file in behind him, you see 2 rows of chairs, 5 along each side. Seated next to Frywinter is a short, stubby man who's bald, with a big mustache, wearing a uniform. And then standing at the back is an also rather stout woman with a similar uniform on, standing at attention, looking very stern, kind of looking at you side-eyed but not breaking that. You hear the old man go, "I say, Frywinter, I thought we were coming to the box straight away. I've been sitting here for quite some time. You know that Captain Marjorie Baker is not much of a conversationalist. I've been sitting here twiddling my thumbs, bored out of my goddamn mind." And he turns and looks and goes, "Are these them? Are these them hunters?"
Sir? I think Lieutenant Captain presenting.
"What's your name, Lieutenant Captain?"
Alexander Barnabas Cummings, sir.
"Very good, sir." He leans over his chair, almost falls over the side of the chair as he leans over, and then readies himself, puts his hand out, goes, "Colonel Phibbs, if you would like to make the acquaintance, sir. Here, I've been the colonel of the Haverlock Free Navy for quite some time out in the Shield Isles. I'm also a member of the new Haverlock Round, the principal of the city's defense, and I will say that part of your police operations will be under the jurisdiction of the Navy, so you can call me sir and superior. And I expect that from all of you, all 6 of you.
6? Yes.
So, who are the rest of you?
Yes, so there's an empty seat on the other side of Frywinter,
Yes.
correct? Okay, so yes, I go and take that seat, and I introduce myself. Sir, I am Valencia Annalise Montparnaud. You may know me from my healing activities throughout the city, my line of products called Valor by Valencia.
I understand why you wanted more women in the Hunters, Frywinter, to make things more progressive, but also quite the looker. Hello, Miss Valencia. I am a powerful man, and it's good to make your acquaintance.
Oh, yes, sir. I can see that you are extremely powerful.
Chadwick leans over and whispers in your ear, babe, I'm just double checking. Is this like a nagging thing I should be jealous about, or are you doing business stuff?
It's business stuff, and I am also making fun of him, dear.
Okay, righteous. I felt a little bad about myself, but I couldn't tell if
How can
that's
you feel
okay or
bad
not.
about yourself? Look at you.
Now, Frywinter, you may be familiar with some of my products, and I would like to perhaps propose a trade.
Talking to Frywinter, you could be talking to Colonel Phibbs. I'll not hear of it. Frywinter, suck on your beer while I talk to the lady. Sell me things. Well, I've got quite a lot of money because I'm a Navy man, you see. What do you have for me?
So very rich. Well, I mean, somebody in your form is clearly very strong and very powerful, but...
I've killed hundreds.
However, even with all that, none of us are immune from the ravages of time, my friend. And though the,
Yes, I get bored frequently.
Yes, absolutely. And though, there is a quite distinguished look on your face with the, the graying hair at your temples and the slight wrinkles, you might want to be aware of those getting from distinguished to unsightly.
Oh, dear God, I never thought about the prospect. All that time out at sea with that sea water making my lips chapped, I thought it made me distinguished.
Oh, yes, you are distinguished now, but, sir, the ravages of time creep up.
Frywinter,
quite
am I
quickly.
ugly? Marjorie, am I ugly? You, there, Lieutenant Captain, am I ugly?
Sir, you are a sir.
Who's the Lieutenant Captain?
We are, Lord.
Yes.
Who am I ugly?
I'm your senior most Lieutenant Captain.
You look young and spry to me, chap.
Well, that's good. Do you think I need to buy anything? Well, can you make me more beautiful?
Buying something, sir? No, this is a transaction of goodwill. And yes, money is a part of that, of course.
Of course.
But please, this is not simply a commerce transaction. This is.
Well, give me
that
something.
will
What do I
change
need?
our
Do you have
life.
something
Yes,
on you?
Of course, sir. I have some of my colloidal mercury here. It promotes density. So, you know, perhaps I'll give you this entire bottle here.
He grabs the bottle, he
Spray in the
pours it
front.
all over his face, like immediately, and starts rubbing it in. And he goes, "Oh, it stings the eyes. What was I supposed to do?" He said, I've always been an eager man, and it's what makes me such a good colonel.
Well, yes, typically those of weaker constitutions would take but a spray at a time in the mouth, but somebody like you
My eyes.
can obviously take
What
much
did you say was in this? Was
more.
there silver in it? I'm allergic to silver.
No, mercury, my
Oh,
dear.
very good. I love
For
mercury.
the density.
He grabs the mercury out of his eyes, puts it in his mouth, and starts swishing it between the teeth. Says, "I always did this when I was a child. Made me feel better through the pain."
I
He
start
swishes his
laughing
eyes.
uncontrollably.
I'll be beautiful. I'll be beautiful. I can tell.
So with Colonel Phibbs distracted, I would like to make a move for some of Frywinter's cocaine.
Oh, okay. So while you're doing that, okay. Can
Yeah.
I get? All right,
Yeah.
great. Can I get a? All right.
I mean, I
No, it's good.
yeah.
This is good. So can I get a talent ×2 to steal the cocaine? I'm going to give you a +4 on that. If anyone wants to perceive this, they can also roll a talent plus perception.
So you said talent ×2, sorry.
I am going to give everybody else, though, a -2 on the dice roll. Yeah, you get +4.
Talent
Plus talent ×2 +4.
Nice.
The rest of you, genius plus talent at -2.
Okay. I got 3 hits.
3 hits. Okay. Yeah, you're able to stick your hand in and grab a handful of the cocaine.
Okay. Yeah, and I sort of smear a bit of it on my mouth and then grab Chadwick and just go to town.
Oh, you just start making out?
Yeah.
Oh, you, Phibbs, I'm blind from the mercury, but I hear the dulcet sounds of making out. Frywinter, tell me, is it hot? Please. What did any of you roll?
I got a 1.
1? Did any roll above a 2? All right, so you just have that handful of cocaine. You rolled a bit on your lips. The rest of it is just in your glove. You've just got
I
it.
must say, I've been watching these interactions quite closely. I've been very impressed once you fooled that man to pour mercury all over
And is
his
it
health.
hot? Is it hot, Lieutenant
There's
Captain?
nothing funnier than this. I am a man of matter, you see, and this, I understand the jests you're pulling. I appreciate them very much.
You
I think
say
we
this
came
them
off
as
on the
they're
wrong.
making out, right?
Yes, I've shuffled over it. I'm saying all these things. I think we got off on the wrong foot, but I quite appreciate your humor. I think we'll get along and work together quite splendidly, you see.
And I am now, feeling the effects, and I say, you know what, sir, your form disgusts me, but I do appreciate somebody who can take a joke, so perhaps we will pull one over on them after all.
Marjorie Baker
What?
has moved up on Colonel Phibbs and is pouring water on Colonel Phibbs' eyes and face and going, "You'll be all right, sir. You'll be all right." As Colonel Phibbs slowly stops hyperventilating, looking around and saying, "I missed all the action." As he looks over at you, no longer making out with Chadwick, he goes, "The rest of you, what's your name? I see
Why,
you
I'm
lurking."
Professor. I'm Professor Archibald. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. I come from the academy.
And are you also a lieutenant captain?
Why, of course.
And a professor?
And a professor.
So I suppose that makes you the leader of this group.
Ah, yes. Many have said that I have leadership qualities. And no one has objected, so it seems that
You are.
quick to the draw again. Once again, I am the leader. Yes, I will take the mantle.
This
Yes, it
cretinous
is
old man
it is
has
a heavy
followed us to
crown
the
upon the
box,
head,
but does
but
not
it is
belong
one that I
here.
will gladly wear in behest of everybody
Sir.
else
Oh,
as
well,
the most learned
No one can
and
hear
intelligent
your old frail
method
voice,
of the one.
sir. Please. My name is Horsemaster Youngster Newborn, and this is a very good and young friend of mine named Eggbert.
Oh, a frog friend.
We just met. I don't know this guy.
Well, those
Very,
are the
very
best
good
friends
and
I
very
always
old
find.
friend.
I'm a delivery boy detective. My name is Eggbert.
Oh, a delivery boy detective in the new Haverlock Hunters? And Frywinter goes, No, not in the Hunters at all. That's just some guy who's here.
Hello.
And this is Horsemaster Youngster Newborn, one of the finest old money barons in
Captain of Industry,
yes.
Baron of Adhesives,
Yes.
and Headmaster of sister's glue factory.
So,
And
Colonel
I must
Phibbs-
insist that I traveled here alone.
So you are the
This man jests as
richest
well.
man here, so that makes you the leader, I suppose, and reaches out.
Yes,
Good to
yes,
meet you,
yes.
Lieutenant
Oh.
Captain.
I am
hold on,
the
hold
senior
on.
lieutenant
I thought we were just
captain.
talking about the most learned being the leader.
And
You certainly
the
would not
leader
lead
would
with
be the
learned
richest.
skills.
Certainly the leader would be the richest, which, not to disrespect this baron with his old money, however, I have an empire of products and lines and,
What are material
my
riches
net
to
worth
the witches of
certainly
intelligence?
Rich and
exceeds
beautiful,
that.
but also a woman. Oh, I don't know.
Tis
I think
quite
that
a
disqualifies
paradox,
her
is
outright.
it not,
It is a paradox.
Colonel Phibbs?
Well, so I suppose you two cancel each other out, which I guess makes the professor the
Yes,
leader
once
again.
again,
I don't think so.
intelligence knocks it all down in the end. You're all, chasing money right to the grave. Me, I've done nothing but
Well,
chase
perhaps-
thoughts.
Well, what about you? What's your pitch? You look very stern in the back. Sternness does make a good leader. I would know. I'm very stern and strict.
This man, I believe, is a farmhand.
What makes you say a farmhand, sir?
The scent.
I'm a man of experience, sir. And
The
I've
scent
run.
of livestock upon you, sir.
Marjorie.
Maybe you judge and prejudge quickly, like a fool. But
I've got a powerful nose.
Marjorie-
Glued right open it is.
Marjorie steps forward and says, "Sir, Lieutenant Captain Cummins is one of the most decorated officers of the Brandy Block Browns. One of the most decorated constables in the whole city. Had earned an early retirement and chose to come out of retirement to head this organization. And I do believe that if you were to remove that position from him, the hunters would be without any sort of discipline and without an ability to function. I'm sorry if I spoke out of turn, Lieutenant Captain." And she steps back behind you.
thank you for your support, Lieutenant McIntyre. But I'm just looking over my colleagues, who I initially thought were going to be consultants, because, of course, being mere policemen and police people would be beneath their dignity. I thought they would be contributing on a voluntary capacity as opposed to demeaning themselves into being mere servants of the state.
Yes, we
Well,
all
what's
know
into
that
that?
police
it is
are
rather
very
demeaning
stupid.
for all of you, I suppose. Like, it's quite low class for all of you. This is what you want to be the leader of this outfit? With how low class it is?
Class
I mean-
means nothing to an intelligent and bright mind.
Oh, we have a bit of a debate going on. I'm excited about it, says Phibbs.
And certainly, the visibility and the prestige that comes with this position is worth far more than any debasement that may come of it as well.
Oh, and an
I've heard
entrepreneur.
about demeaning. I think we all know the meaning of life is to support young children such as this.
Yes, I
think we
can
let
agree
the
with
young
that.
boy decide who's the leader. Right, Eggbert?
Oh wait,
Frywinter-
what? I get to decide the mystery of who's the leader of the hunters?
Colonel
Oh,
Phibbs goes, well, this
boy.
is rather unorthodox.
Consider
Frywinter, do
your
you have anything
intimate
to say?
friendships.
Frywinter
Whoa.
leans back in the seat, is like, "I've got no idea what's going on, Colonel, and I believe I must relinquish my authority to you." And Colonel Phibbs goes, "Well, this is rather unorthodox, but unorthodoxness is what makes me one of the finest colonels in the Navy. I'll allow it. Delivery boy, who's the leader of this
Oh
outfit?"
boy, well, I can't believe I get to solve this mystery. Well, why do you, Mr. Horse, believe that you should be the leader?
Well, simply, I'm the richest, the most powerful, the handsomest, the most grotesque, and the most highly mutated of the bunch.
Only two of those things are true. You, what are your reasons?
Well, I know how to run a police service, which I suppose this is supposed to be what this is, and I like solving mysteries.
Whoa! Oh boy!
Which, as I say, these other people seem to be more interested in either enrichment, prestige, or, as enriching as it is, academia.
Well, I too loved mysteries and being a detective. This is quite compelling. And you, Mr. Goose?
There is nothing I am after but an inquiring mind. There is nothing I am after other than righteousness and a free conscience, free of any kind of past indiscretions that could have happened to any number of television teaching assistants. Excuse me. Any kind of teaching assistant. It doesn't matter what could have happened. I'm simply here to clear the mind and find ways of changing one thing into another. Me from an academia into a leader. Me from someone burdened by the responsibilities of an institution.
Because I don't understand half of what you're saying. You, Miss Ma'am, what is your...
Frogling, Eggbert, was it? I believe you got along very well with my assistant Chadwick here, and I must tell you, back at our home, Chadwick has a absolute box full of mysteries.
Oh, well, I do.
I'm getting distracted.
Don't worry about it. Just do what you're going to do.
There was an attempt from the DM to send a message by writing sideways. No one can comprehend.
The mystery of Peter's handwriting.
Written in Strigoi. Even quicker than the alphabet.
You're telling me the DM's gonna write a message to a frog?
Well, after hearing all of these compelling arguments, I believe it's a tough one. Because I do love mysteries. But I also love mysteries. I think I should be the leader.
No. Colonel Van, turn around. Why, if there's anything I love more than just random acts, it's things I don't expect.
I managed to get here without any invitation. And I, too, love mysteries. And I am a young mind full of ideas.
Marjorie, looks down at the ground, smiling, and Chadwick nods sagely. Frywinter, rocks back and forth and says, I don't know what's going on, man. It's been a lot tonight. And then Colonel Phibbs looks around the room and says, a turnaround, a rout, a military terms of the like. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. Though there were only 5 people meant to be hunters. Well, I don't know. Do we have any objections?
Well, better a young, impressionable mind with interest and curiosity than some of these other self-interested people here around the table.
That I think we can agree with.
If it weren't me, I'm glad to have a friend in my pocket leading the group.
I'm not in your pocket. I'm too big for your pocket.
Is a good teammate
Wait.
indeed.
Yeah, Valencia's the only person with any fucking sense.
Certainly.
No, it's not.
The Hunters, excuse me. The Hunters are a prestigious organization being brought back for the first time. Would it really reflect well upon us and upon the city to let a lower species into it?
Well, I do remember Frywinter talking about how we needed to be inclusive to meet the new demographics of all the different people in the city and be representative.
Sure, but humane women is certainly
It
enough.
is rather progressive.
That's very progressive. Do we really need to be going to?
I think we all know progress is a myth.
I've got the perfect solution. The frog will be the leader. On paper, that you all see, but never in the news, never anywhere in public. I believe that on a ship at sea, every person is an equal, except for the captain. And I'm the fucking captain. So all of you are equals to one another with no power over one another. So saith me. Lieutenant captainships all around, except Chadwick, who's a lieutenant, and Mary McIntyre, who's a lieutenant. So you can boss them around if you want. That's what I think. And look at that. The lights are going down. It's time to watch the fight. No more talking about this. Welcome to the Hunters, young Eggbert. I guess we'll have to add another seat. We built 5. We'll have to build a 6th one.
Wow. Boy,
Frywinter, you okay with this?
I didn't expect to come here tonight and have a new job, but now I'm a delivery boy detective hunter.
So as the lights start going down and the room starts getting more quiet, you hear a knock on the door. And in walks a very tall man. Not quite as tall as Chadwick, who's 6'5", and definitely not as tall as the boy Eggbert, but tall nonetheless. With a little bowler hat and very pig-like features, as some of the humane from further up north do, wearing a spiffing collar, looking rather fine.
Spiffing.
He walks through, ducks through the doorway, and goes, Well, if this isn't the new Haverlock Hunters I've heard so much about, I thought I should come and say hello to all of you. You see Frywinter duck down into his chair going, Please tell me that's not Alabaster talking right now. He always makes fun of me at the worst times. Alabaster looks around and says, I just wanted to make your acquaintance. See, some of us true capitalists have more things to do than administrate to the wealth that our parents accrued, and then find laws and tariffs that just support that wealth without any effort made around it. I'm the proprietor of the night market you see, the grandest building in the city. If you have any need for anything that's actually keg-related, information in the city, things that are a little bit more real than this esoteric bullshit, feel free to seek me out. Alabaster. Good evening. Enjoy the fight, everybody. I'll be in Box 1, which is a bit more prestigious and a bit better than Box 5, being that it's called Box 1. I'm sure I'll see you around. And Alabaster walks out, closing the door behind him. And you hear a snap as a bunch of joy lights pop up on the theater. You see another snap as a few even fury lights join them, creating this electric intensity as the music shifts to something a little nouveau, a little raucous. And out steps the most famous, the most beloved Merrowyne in the whole city, Professor Pisswood, stepping out with long legs, doing long kicks with a cane out before him, swinging the cane around as the band moves around him, stepping up and then pulling down a microphone that comes down from the ceiling, grabbing it, going, Chuck, Chuck! Well, if it isn't great to see everybody out here. Professor Pisswood here. Usually I do the most wild exhibitions in the city, but today we've got something a bit more prestigious. We have a boxing match between the retired professional Maxwelt Bodyblow, beloved of the city, and you hear cheering, clapping, the Brandy Block Stallion, and he has a banner unfurls with his visage, which you can see on screen, versus, of course, from Northern Vista, the Foreign Florenzio. And you see another banner unfurl with a hideous visage of someone who's got a big grin and their nose is upturned, like a lot of people's nose is upturned, but it's different somehow. And it comes down, and you see in the image, not only are they sitting there happily, but they're holding some kind of weird can with black eggs in it and eating it. And it's weird, and everyone's confused. You hear boos and shouting from the audience.
Ooh.
Yes, that's right. Foreign Florenzio isn't from around here. And the Maxwelt Bodyblow is. But it's the old reigning champ. Florenzio is young. Can they fight well? Will it be good? Will New Haverlock be totally humiliated in the fight? Well, we're here to see. And I'm here to judge. That's right, the most famous Merrowyne. The one who understands you humane like nobody does. He takes a few steps back, kicking leg, twirling a cane. You hear the dulcet tones of Hello, My Baby, as he steps back, and you see, with a cheer, Maxwelt Bodyblow step out into the arena. The big bison of a man, bald-headed, 2 ears that have been bat to shit, a big mustache. He steps up, he turns around, he waves at everybody as they cheer. Then he takes out, what is that? A big stout ale and drinks it in one gulp. What does everyone feel about that? He drank the ale.
Cool.
Yes, you've seen ale before, and he drank it.
Who runs them these days?
Who runs him these days?
Yeah, I mean, basically, who owns this fight?
McIntyre turns and looks at you and says, well, it's more of a... Hold on one second. Oh, my God. McIntyre turns to you and says, well, he used to be with the Black Baggers for a long time. And then he gave it up and he became what we can understand, just a boxer in his own match. But I can understand why he had a bunch of experience beating people to a pulp, working with Charlie Fox's crew.
The Fox crew do know how to bring somebody down.
Mm-hmm. Well, he turned legit from what I can tell. And I guess...
A legit fighter in this place?
From what I understand, all the theatrics here, but I guess if all you're doing is drinking a beer, that's pretty restrained in the grand scheme of things.
And it's pretty cool.
So, who's Lorenzo actually, man?
Florenzio?
Yeah.
Oh, Florenzio grew up in Brookside as well.
Yeah.
He was the son of a carpenter. And that's where he learned the trade.
Okay, I mean, so who's running him then? Because I mean, somebody's obviously making their cut out of this big match.
I'm gonna guess it's Stanwell,
Yeah.
who's running the district at this point. Probably thought a character was more necessary. Not everyone's got the charm of Maxwelt Bodyblow, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you do need a good heel in these kind of things.
I think that's exactly it. And with that being said, right at that moment, stepping out is the foreigner Florenzio. Florenzio steps out carrying a can of some weird eggs and is slamming them down his throat while he drinks out of a cup that's got a little stem and then a weird bulb on the end with a white liquid that he's drinking. He's drinking and he's
so
walking
strange.
around with his fingers
it.
up
He's
like
got
this.
eggs.
Stop it! You're not supposed to root for him.
Now,
not?
the
I do
microphone.
like the foreign egg consumer.
Thank you.
As he's walking by, not only that, but he grabs the microphone out of Professor Pisswood's hand and he pulls it up to his hand and he goes, "Hello, everybody. I'm new to the area. I haven't been around here very much. I'm new to the area. If somebody could show me a place where I can eat some fish later,
Ooh!
I'd love to eat some fish. And I'd love to drink wine."
Ooh! Actually, no, I kind of can relate
And
to
it's
that.
that moment that the music cuts out. The crowd goes wild as Maxwelt Bodyblow rushes forward and punches Florenzio right in the face for that, grabs the mic back and says, "You'll have a beer like the rest of us." And the crowd loses its shit, goes absolutely wild. How are you all feeling up in the box 5?
I feel younger than I've felt in ages.
What are you doing right now?
I'm standing and cheering and holding onto the rail so I don't fall over. I've been prone to that tonight, but I keep shaking my stick and I'm yelling and I'm really living it up as if I were 60.
I am feeding cocainum. Cocaine?
Cocaine, yeah.
Cocaine is the combo.
Well,
I am-
cocainum is, the medical
Yeah.
term, but down in the
Cocaine.
streets they call it cocaine.
I am just slowly giving little nose spoonfuls of cocaine to Chadwick because I love it when that boy is all amped up.
Yeah, he's up there standing up, keeps trying to take his shirt off, but you buckled it real tight, and he keeps trying to take it off, and then beating his chest a little
Yeah.
bit when he can't to pretend that wasn't what he was trying to do. And he's standing right next to you. He's like, "Come on, little man, come on." He lifts you up a little bit so you can cheer harder, Professor
Me?
Archie. Yeah.
Oh! Put me down!
Chadwick,
Oh, put me down!
Your feats of
He
strength.
puts you back down. He's like, sorry. Then he gets
No,
excited.
I
lifts
was
you back up
excited too.
again.
Oh no!
Lieutenant Cummins, how about you? How do you feel about this boxing match going on? Florenzio's bare knuckle hasn't had time to put his gloves on as Maxwell's just going at him.
They're bloody good professionals down there.
Oh, it seems like a real fight from what you can tell. Now, if you want to roll and use your professional ability to see how the fight's going, give me a talent plus genius +2 for your professionalism to tell me how real the fight seems. How about you, Horsemaster? At this moment, how do you feel?
Well, I'm quite excited to see the fight. In fact, I'm about to grip this young boy's thigh in anticipation. We are together here in this fight. You and I, we both like the bad guy, don't we?
Well, this fight seems kind of fake to me. I mean, I like the egg guy, but this is a really weird fight. They're really pulling their punches on this.
Oh no!
Is this
you
a thing
simply
that
have
people
to,
like?
You simply have to believe. It's like changing matter in alchemy. You have to just think about it and enjoy it for what it is.
You see the same thing. In a legitimate fight, there's no way they wouldn't let Florenzio put his gloves on. And he's supposed to be the face in all of this. Maxwelt Bodyblow. Yeah, he's the one fighting out of turn. No. This is all messed up. Now, are you going to ruin it for everybody, or are you just going to keep it to yourself?
I'm keeping myself, man. I mean,
But not you.
Well, I mean, it just seems fake. It's just not a real fight.
When did you lose the magic, boy?
I
You're young and spry and should
It's-
enjoy these kinds of
I
things
mean,
at face value.
I fight with my siblings. This just seems.
I feel like I'm
Is
learning
this-
some negative
Is
things
this what
about
boxing
you.
is?
look. You got a good eye on you, but these things, you got to keep on the down low. Keep it under your hat.
It's all a lie.
So as you're watching
not all
that everyone
Florenzio,
likes.
back to the corner,
It's not-
reaches
it's
down
not
into
fun.
his pants.
It's not all a lie.
And
it's
he
all a
pulls
game.
out a squid
Oh,
from behind his
it's a
pants. He goes,
game.
"Always have a squid up my
Yep.
pants." And he shoves it in Maxwelt's face, who
Whoa.
grabs the squid and starts screaming and falling to the end. People start booing and hissing
Look at that.
as Maxwelt
They
puts
know what they're doing
on
down
the
there.
boxing gloves and turns around and says, "I'm ready to fight you now." And that's when the ding-ding happens. It is now a little bit of a break between the two. Colonel Phibbs turns around to look at both of you and goes, "My God, was that not the greatest opening to a match you've ever seen? I thought Maxwelt would have him in the first round, but then that squid in the pants, I can't believe they let the Foreign Florenzio do those things. I hear Vishta, they love squid like that. We used to eat squid here until we broke the bay, and now it's red and horrible, and we can't have fish there anymore, and I don't like them anymore.
The oysters used to be very good.
Don't speak like the Foreign Florenzio, Lieutenant Captain, or I'll knock you
What
down
are
to
you,
Lieutenant Captain
poor?
Minus.
What do you mean? I mean, we had good Haverlock oysters back in the day. Like,
Let's focus on what we have now. Good pigs and good chickens. I love
It's
a chicken.
higher class meal.
How's everyone feeling?
I'm
Is
spending too
everyone
much
doing
time with the
well?
capitalist.
Frywinter seems indisposed. Frywinter is shrunk down and just talking about how Alabaster was mean to him.
I like the squid part. The squid was fun. But I don't get how this is fighting.
Well, it was an illegal move. That's why it makes sense you wouldn't understand it.
Oh,
Wait till the ending, son. We'll see how it all wraps up.
okay. I have a feeling no one here has ever been in a fight.
Well, if you've been in a fight so much, why don't you show us how fighting's done? And that's when Captain Marjorie steps and goes, no, don't do that. Don't do that
you
at all.
want to fight? I like
No,
fighting.
no, no,
Fighting
don't
is
do that.
fun.
Don't do that. Don't.
You don't want to fight?
No, don't show us
No
how a
fighting?
fight's done.
Not right
Oh,
now.
yes, yes. Chadwick, would you like to fight the
The
frog
boy?
No,
You want to
no,
I
fight
would
the
love
little
to
man?
see your
No,
physique
no, no,
and
no,
its
you
peak
can't do a fight.
performance.
Because it's my job to keep everyone here safe. You can't do a fight here.
What
But
if it's a
Chadwick
little
steps
rowdy
forward,
competition?
like puts down Archie and steps forward and is like, yeah, Frogman, you want to do a fight? I can't take my shirt off, but I could certainly take your shirt off and fight you.
Wait, don't. I like my shirt. Please don't do that.
Who wants to see
But I
a
will
fight?
fight.
Didn't you want to play Jacks instead? Like some other contest?
I was so
I
mad about the
want to
Jack
see
now
a
that now I
fight.
kind of want to fight you over not showing me. You know, when you give somebody a game, you're supposed to read them the rules.
That's right. That's correct.
Yes, Chadwick, I love seeing the vein in your temple pulse with blood.
Colonel Phibbs looks around and says, looks like the votes are in. Looks like it's time to have a little bit
A
of a
little
fight.
halftime show.
Time for a bit of wrestling, I see. All right. Can you describe what you do first things first? How's this fight gonna open up? What are you gonna do? What do you
Well,
want?
I mean, usually I surprise tackle my siblings.
So you're just gonna go in.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's what you do with the siblings. It's always a surprise. They just come at you out of nowhere, or sometimes they surprise you with a foursome.
Okay, yeah, but this is just a one-on-one duel. This is just a
Yeah, I mean, that makes it easier.
yeah, it's just an intimate one-on-one. So let me get a you're going in with a surprise
An
tackle. Let me
intimate
get a
twosome.
talent plus vigor. Now, what is Chadwick is a specimen. Chadwick is not easily fucked around with.
Yeah, I know. Chadwick is definitely all brawn, no brain.
Yeah, so let's see it. I'm rolling, you're rolling. What'd you get?
I got 4 hits.
Okay, Chadwick is ready for you, but once again, he thought he was ready for you, but he starts trying to take his shirt off again. So his arms are around his chest as you come in and you surprise tackle him and you get him under the legs. What do you do? Once you got him under the legs, what do you do with that big
Well,
boy?
bring him to the floor.
So you slam him back down to the ground. Archie, you were right behind Chadwick. Can I get a talent plus vigor to get out of the way?
Yeah, I'll try and move.
Oh, no.
I don't know if it'll happen.
I'm such a rowdy boy. I didn't even think about old people.
You're gonna need 2 successes to get out of the way.
I got no hits. I got
You
no
gotta do it.
successes
All
at all.
right, so now you pick him up
Dear
And
God.
then slam Chadwick down on top of Archie. Archie, take
No!
2 points of lethal damage.
I don't think my old frail frame can take too many of those kinds
Chadwick
of hits.
hits the ground. I need you to roll initiative right now. This will be a real quick one. Yeah.
Won't anyone think of the elderly?
Yeah. So just roll the dice as 1 and just don't look at the success. Just look at the number.
Okay, 7.
You got a 7?
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
so
really
now that you're on
terrible.
the ground, a little disoriented, you Chadwick starts trying to punch you in your big eyes. Okay, let me get a talent times 2 to get out of the way of that attack.
Two hits.
All right, you try to dodge out of the way, but you take a punch to your left eye.
Oh, that's nothing.
It's a little, take 1 vigor point of damage, and then I want you to roll.
Wait,
What
I
do
need
you
a-
do
I need
now?
a pencil.
And then I want you to tell me what you do in response. So it's right here. Your lethal should be 6 total. You should be down to 5. Wait, is that true? Wait, let me see that. I don't know if that's correct. because it should be 6 plus your vigor divided by 2. Your vigor is 7. So that should be 3. So your max should be 9. You should be at 8. So in the small box, write 9. And then the big box now, write 8. You take a little blow to the head, but Chadwick's got it a lot worse than you do right now. Valencia, how do you feel about this right now? Your boy is pinned, and he's punching the frogman in the face, but it's more flailing than it is true honest punching from your boy. Also, there's an old man laying on the ground. Archie, can I get an initiative from you as well?
I suppose.
Could I also take initiative to try and drag the old man out of the
Absolutely,
out of the way?
you can.
I at first was just absolutely riveted by Chadwick's display of virility. However, now seeing him beat by a child, I am becoming a bit disgusted. So I attempt to beckon Chadwick to.
Okay,
say,
give me initiative. I want initiative from everybody
All right.
then. Okay.
Yeah.
So initiative. The way we do initiative, if you aren't
it's
sure,
3 plus a d6.
yeah, and you just roll 1 dice and you add it.
Oh wait.
So
oh,
just
right.
roll 1 dice and
I
you
got
add
a
the number to
9.
the. Okay, you got a 9. Okay.
Oh
amazing.
right. Okay. So 5. Yeah, and then add the number and then roll that many dice.
No. No, you just add, what you have is 3 plus 1d6. So just roll it.
yeah, I did that.
5, so
So
3,
five, yeah,
so it's
okay.
8. Okay? Horsemaster, are you going to roll initiative while you're in this, or are you just going to watch?
I'm simply observing and protecting my precious cargo.
Gotcha. All right, and then you got a 7, is that right?
Yeah.
All right.
Did not roll.
What do you want to do in this moment, Eggbert? Everybody else is coming in next.
Well, the punch was like fine. My sibling hits harder than that, I say, and I pin his arms to the ground.
Okay, give me a vigor times 2.
Oh, that's a lot. 4 hits.
4 hits. You're holding them steady, but he's kind of fighting you back a little bit, but you've got it pretty pinned to the ground. Now we're going to the next round. Lieutenant Captain Cummins, it comes straight to you.
Yeah, so I basically drag the good professor to his feet.
Oh!
Okay. Can
And-
I get a vigor times 2? Archie, can I get a vigor times 2 from you as well?
Yes.
Because they're pinned extremely hard. I'm going to need a combined 4 hits.
I got 1 hit.
So 1 hit. So I need 3 hits.
What's vigor again? I got 3 hits.
You got 3 hits. Okay, you're able to pull Archie out of the fire, which lets you push Chadwick down even further to the ground. Chadwick is going to try to break away again. Give me another vigor times 2 from you, Eggbert.
4 hits.
4 hits. You just pin him down to the ground so hard. He's spitting and going, why wouldn't you tell me about Jax? And then
I can tell you about Jax. Just give up. Just give up.
Valencia, it's your turn now.
Squeal.
Chadwick, you have done excellently. Now let us end this and come back to me, and I have a sip of the flask for you.
Okay. All right. Archie, it's your turn.
Well, I'm very mad. I've been pulled around and I've been tossed on the ground, and all that anger is going right. It's making me fiery. It's making me very hot.
Okay.
And very mad. And what I
Yeah.
want to do is cast a fireball and break up this kind of nonsense and get them away from me and tell them all to stop knocking me on the ground.
So how are you going to do? You're going to try to hit them both with the
I'm gonna
fireball?
say, I say, and I'm going to go, bah!
Now, are you going to do it with your sleeves, or are you going to use chaos artistry?
I'm going to use chaos artistry this time.
Okay. So can you
Just
give
to
me-
make a spectacle of the whole
And it's
thing.
just a big pop to try to get them to
Yeah,
step
I
right.
want everyone to get a hold of themselves and to act with decorum. And you can do that kind of thing, but don't knock me over. Don't bump into me while you're doing it.
Magic times 2. I think a spectacle like that is just worth 2 force. It's pretty simple.
I'm
pretty
very
small.
mad about it all, though.
All right, and then I want you and
got 2
Chadwick
hits.
to ready a pride plus genius to keep your composure.
I got 2 hits, and I got 2 hits on the drain.
Okay, you are so mad you don't even notice the headache as the plausibility space of a big fireball that makes everybody stop being mean to you erupts in front of you.
Cut it out!
And so
3 hits.
3 hits. Okay, let me do Chadwick. No hits. Both of you are immediately like, whoa, a fire, and you step back away from each other. You need to get 4 to resist the effects.
You're
of the
all acting a
effect.
little too hot. You need to cool it.
Especially you, Eggbert.
We're
It
in a
dried you out-
theater.
It dried your hands out a little bit, that fire.
Yeah, I don't like that. I need some brine.
Chadwick reaches into his coat pocket. He goes, here. And he hands you some water, and he goes like, I spit in it. Valencia likes it. It's the closest thing to brine that I have.
Wow, thanks. And I put the spit water on my hands.
Will you teach me how to play jacks again, little frog?
Yeah.
All right, you're a good pinner. You know what?
Thanks.
More wrestling matches in the future, okay?
Oh, I love wrestling.
Okay. Sick. It sits down, grabs you, Archie, without consent, and puts you on his shoulders. And sits down.
I kind of like it. It's
Now,
fun.
match 2 has already
It is
started,
truly
and I don't
a
know if anyone's
fantastic
been
place
watching.
to be.
Perhaps
I have a
I don't know
good
about you,
seat
newborn, but
in the house to
no
watch
one,
this
no one else has
fight.
been watching.
I've been watching the
To
scurrying in the
feel
box.
his ropey shoulders.
Quite
against
pleasing
the
to
legs.
sister and I,
Quite
knowing that very soon
enticing.
I may be the only hunter left.
Oh, I guess that's true. The higher you'll climb higher in the station.
Yes, the more they burn and pummel each other and do cocaine.
So
This
right
is
now,
what the free market wills.
we've gotten the match downstairs.
This is what the Horsemaster
Down
wills.
at the floor, you've got Maxwelt Bodyblow hanging on to the ring on the corner, looking haggard as Florenzio has one glove off and is trotting about, spinning the gloves in his hand and saying, "I love to dance! I love to dance!" Everyone is screaming in fury. In fury, but you see from out of the corner of your eye, Dr. Baby Lovechild, somebody, of course, the Horsemaster knows, but no one else does, sneaking a little cup of ale to Maxwelt, who grabs the cup and chugs it down, stands up and gets big and buff and punches Florenzio back into the corner, and Florenzio's glove goes flying out of his hand, and Maxwelt grabs the mic and goes, "No, I like to dance," and the crowd goes wild. Everyone starts screaming, and then again the bell dings. And round 3 is over. That's right, 2 rounds passed. And all that time you were fighting each other. And everything calms down. And you hear another knock at the door. And in comes a beautiful young woman. That's the wrong person. A beautiful young woman who comes in and looks about the booth and then looks directly at you, Lieutenant Cummins, and says, "Well, if it isn't Lieutenant Captain Cummins, I thought it'd be best I introduce myself while all these chicanery is going on down there. I am Victoria Standwell. You must have known my husband, Guy Standwell. He was very old. I was his wife. And when he passed, I took his position. And now I am in charge of the police force as well as the shipping guild and a member of the round. And I just thought it'd be good to make acquaintance with one another. I have very little experience with the police force and thought it'd be good if we could communicate with one another and you could teach me a thing or two."
Of course. I mean, even in my retirement, I heard that you've been the most competent person in charge. And I say, unfortunately, I should correct you in saying that I'm not the one in charge. It's us and our colleagues here, communally, unfortunately.
She squints her eyes and looks around. "What do you mean? What colleagues?"
So,
How do you do?
You say from Chadwick's shoulders.
How do you do? I shake my stick.
She looks around and says, "Well, I suppose this is always what it was going to turn into. Frywinter, you had no objections?" And Frywinter just sinks deeper into his seat. "Very well. Well, Lieutenant Captain, I look forward to making your acquaintance. I don't know if you'll be making Brookside your home once again, but if you do, please seek me out. I know all the realtors and I can find you the best of accommodations."
Thank you, but unfortunately, I think we'll be stuck in here, as in the round. But again, thank you very much for your offer.
A shame.
Much appreciated.
A shame. Well, we'll be in touch. And Victoria Stanwell steps out of the room. A young man is behind her, who I posted accidentally on the screen before. A surly-looking man who looks around at all of you, looks over at Frywinter, and then curses to himself and wanders away. Do you know the members of the round, Lieutenant Cummins?
I know who I probably know who the members of the rounds were. I might know by name some of the new joinees.
But you wouldn't recognize the young man who just wandered away if they're young and a new member.
Probably not.
Yes.
No.
All right, and now we're on to round 4. Now, in round 4, Professor Pisswood steps back up and says,
But can I note young man who
"Yes."
stepped in and stepped out again?
Oh, absolutely. You can write it down, absolutely. You can ask Mary about it or anyone else about it at some time later. And you step out.
Yeah, note in the ear, not in the ear.
Got it. Well, Professor Pisswood steps back and says, "Well, here we are with one last round, round 4. We didn't think we'd get here, did we? But with tricks and plans from everyone all around, people have managed to stay in the fight. At first we thought Maxwelt Bodyblow would have it with his vicious attack on Florenzio because of his assault on New Haverlock values from him not being around here. And then we had an assault and back with Florenzio between the squid and between the oysters and the shellfish. What other kind of sea creatures could he torment New Haverlock with in our previous history of eating fish, but we can't anymore because of all of the blood in the bay that we have to eat chickens and pigs now. And then, of course, Maxwell was down for the count, but then drank that famous beer of his, and he was in it, and now they look ready as ever. Florenzio has his big glove, and Maxwell has his big muscles, and let's see it. And the two fighters step out, and they round each other a little bit, and this, for a mere second, seems like a true moment, beginning a boxing match as they both circle each other. And then Florenzio blows a kiss to Maxwell, and Maxwell is so disgusted by the kiss that he goes, ugh! And then Florenzio hits him with a punch, hitting Maxwell back to the corner, but Maxwell knocks him back. And then there they are, punching, wrestling, hitting, biting, grabbing each other's legs, each other's nipples, even a touch of a genitalia here or there, you see. And people go boo or yes, depending on whose genitalia is being touched by who.
Yes.
This is the most exciting thing.
And then there they are, grabbing each other. One of them having the other in a headlock, the other one having the genitalia in the other, twisting the dick, as the other one twists the neck, held closely, as...
Yes. The old dick twist.
The old dick twist. As Professor Bodyblow is, Professor Pisswood. There's so many characters. As Professor Pisswood is in there trying to say, that's an illegal move. That's an illegal move. That's an illegal move. They're all together, surrounded by each other, spinning and spinning and spinning. And then you hear a tick. And then suddenly, down under the lights, the fury lights, the joy lights, you see, standing out of the broad back of Max, something that shouldn't be there. A shaft of some kind sticking out of his back. And with a groan, he tumbles to the ground. And the foreigner Florenzio takes a step back and goes, oh my God, what's that? And they both scream and step back while Dr. Baby Lovechild swings into the match, grabs the shaft in the back of Maxwelt Bodyblow and rips the shaft out. Torrents of blood, and you see a bit of like white of some bones come out, maybe some separation of spine. And you see as Dr. Baby Lovechild reaches into his pocket, bites off of a container of glue and pours it into the wound.
This will not end well.
holding something down to it, grabbing a scalpel and starts cutting it to the man's back. He grabs the microphone and goes, he's been hit with a bow. He's been hit with a bow. He says, let me find him. I just ruined the mood. He's been hit with a bow, but don't worry. I know how to do surgery on a spine. I know how to do all sorts of surgeries. And he starts narrating his surgery as he cuts and carves at it going. Now, what do you do in this moment?
Can I look where the shot would have come from?
I love it. Give me talent plus genius. I'll give you a +2 to see where the shot came from.
Wow, this fight got really real all of a sudden.
There's a lot of viscera in here, but I think I can handle it. I just have to suck some of it out. Got some glue in there.
I am glad that
I will say the entire ordeal has proved quite exciting for me, but I am trying to keep my cool.
I pull
all
out
that blood, all that viscera, I am feeling quite that of the cooking.
I am pulling
talent plus genius +2. Okay, Valencia, I need a composure roll from you. That's pride ×2, but I'm going to give you a -2 because of all the cockainum.
Okay. I can't quite see the action. What's going on?
Chadwick's, I'll get you closer, and he holds you over the edge like under.
And
like
I
a
take
baby.
my spyglass. This wasn't planned. This is off script.
I got 1 hit on my composure roll.
Okay. Blood flows through your veins, and you crack the wood on your chair as you hold yourself back to not go and lick a blood. How do you feel? 2 hits? One of the boxes, it definitely came from an angle, but you can surmise that it did not come from your right. So it wasn't box 1 through 5. So it must have been box 6 through 8 or above that. It was certainly not from the ranks below.
I turn to the officer, who's like, again, I can't remember her name. Say, officer.
McIntyre.
Yeah, but no, not McIntyre, not my officer.
The captain, Captain Baker.
Captain Baker. Well, the captain.
Yeah.
You go, Captain. We need to lock down the right side. Sorry.
No. Yeah. I agree with you.
Yeah.
All right. I'll see about the catwalks up above if you'll see about the boxes.
Yep.
And
It's a mystery
and
of
she
what?
she rushes off while Colonel Phibbs sinks down in his chair and goes, I was always a man of command, but not much of a man of action. I think you can do it yourself.
Do you want to come along? And do you want
I love a mystery.
You want to
A
come along for the
mystery of the murdered man.
Sounds like we all have to go find a guilty party.
Am I good to take your man along as well? He seemed like a handy lad. And as I look across, how does she look?
Oh, you look like you're biting all your teeth together.
Yeah.
And clenching really hard.
No, it's not all that bad.
It is maybe better if Chadwick and I both remove ourselves from this site. It is too intense for my ladylike composure. I am offended and overwhelmed by the sight of blood. That is why I am acting such. Let us go. Yes.
McIntyre
Let
steps
us
up and
go.
goes, Sir, perhaps we should make sure to give orders to the rest of them, or they might just sit here. Should I and perhaps Horsemaster and Eggbert go and check elsewhere?
Yeah, if you could check the stage, because I say.
Yes, let's go down to where the blood is, young boy.
All right, very
I
good.
love blood. This reminds me of one of my favorite detective delivery boy books, number 224, called What Happened at Midnight. And guess what happened?
What happened?
Somebody died!
And McIntyre
I never
goes,
would have
well, that
guessed
seems
that.
like an appropriate
story.
situation. All right, come with me. We'll make our way down to the stage while you, you know, Captain, Lieutenant Captain, what to do.
Yep, we'll check the boxes.
Okay.
Yes. Let us go and do that, and
Okay.
not look at the blood anymore. Definitely
Well,
not.
As you are all going off to check the boxes, I checked the time, and it looks like it's time for us to end this mystery right as it begins. I had a feeling this might happen, that we have to leave it on a bit of a cliffhanger. So come back next week for Professor Pisswood's last round, part 2. The first time the new Haverlock Hunters get together, meeting each other, having a bit of tension there and a bit more tension as an unexpected bolt seemed to kill Maxwelt Bodyblow, who was meant to be the 5th member. Well, luckily there's a 6th member now who's become the 5th. And luckily they know a thing or two about wrestling young boys.
We don't even need an extra seat anymore. It's perfect.
It's perfect. Who could have planned such a wonderful evening? But I believe that next week we'll come back for the conclusion of Professor Pisswood's last round, I believe. But before we do that, could we go around and hear our players' names one more time and perhaps a thing, just the name, I don't know, whatever.
Yes. Thank you, everyone. My name's Lily, and I am playing Valencia.
My name is Bryce. I'm playing Professor Archibald. I get knocked down, but I get back up again. You
But
can
someone
never
might
keep me
keep
down.
you down. Someone might.
I'm Magnus, and I'm a lieutenant captain amongst the 10 captains.
My name is Alec, and I've been playing Horsemaster, Youngster, Newborn, and Sister.
Okay, I play Eggbert.
Well, thank you everybody for watching. Thank you for Erin, Sherry, and Sister for following.
This reminds me of one of my favorite detective delivery boy books, number 224, called What Happened at Midnight. And guess what happened?
What happened?
Somebody died!